part of the dispenser. Well, that was it. It's all downhill from here, bud. For more, visit theonion.com.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live, and you're invited here if you want to join us. You can dial in toll-free at 855-450-FREE, like freedom. That's 855-450-3733 here tonight in the studio. It's Ian.
Aria.
And Mark.
And, of course, you can bring up anything that you want. There is a lot that we can talk about tonight, and a lot that we should, especially this news about this major hack that apparently just went down, I guess, today. And we found out about this because somebody reposted one of these posts in a chat room that the ForkFest chat room, actually, I think was where it was. And that's how I got wind of this particular story, because it's getting spread everywhere because hackers have taken over dozens of high-profile Twitter accounts. And we're talking high-profile. Barack Obama.
That's pretty high profile.
Jeff Bezos.
Yep. Pretty high profile.
Uber. Apple. Cash App. Joe Biden. Apparently, Elon Musk got hit as well.
Also Bill Gates.
Kanye West. Bill Gates. I mean,
it's an enormous list of, people with tens of millions of followers.
Huge. These guys got owned.
It's probably one of the most reasonable things Kanye West has said in the last week.
No, the most reasonable was his announcement today that he's putting his presidential campaign
on hold.
Yeah.
Is he endorsing someone?
I hope not.
Okay.
So beware, everybody, if in case you just so happen across one of these posts. Now, Twitter surely has gone through and hit the auto delete.
They are no longer available.
Right, so you can't find them. But somebody's probably sharing the screenshots around or whatever. Just beware. And just be aware in general. If you see one of these posts, so I'll give you an example. They actually put here on businessinsider.com. This is what Cash App wrote. Now, if you don't know what Cash App is, or what the hackers wrote under Cash App's Twitter, Cash App is Square. If you've ever heard of Square, they do a lot of credit card processing for business. And I think the Twitter guy, actually, Jack Dorsey, the CEO, is also the CEO of Square. If I recall correctly.
That's right. His other company's account on his other company got hacked.
Yeah. So Square has this thing called Cash App, which Aria, you and I are users on.
Yeah.
It's like a PayPal competitor, basically.
Okay.
You can send you get a little username.
Except it's Bitcoin friendly.
No, well,
less Bitcoin opposing.
Let's say this. They've integrated Bitcoin.
You can buy Bitcoin directly from them.
Correct. They're making money off of Bitcoin. They have integrated Bitcoin. They've introduced Bitcoin to millions of users. So kudos to them for that. They deserve credit. And it's a pretty decent app as far as what it does, right? Like it allows you to buy, or to send or receive US dollars. And now, as of the last 2 years, you can purchase Bitcoin through this app. So it's a very, very big finance app. It was when I first installed it a couple of years ago, as our voice guy, Zeus, the big voice, Free Talk Live guy.
Free Talk Live.
Yeah, Zeus, right. So he wanted me to pay him with Cash App, so that's what turned me on to it. So I set up an account, and it's been a fine app. It was at that time the number one, ranked in the Google App Store, the number one finance app for the free category. So, I mean, there's millions of people on this app.
Yeah.
They said on their Twitter, the hackers here, Hump Day sounds more like Giving Back Day. We are doubling all Bitcoin payments sent to our COVID-19 fund. So using the whole COVID thing to tweak people, get them to pay attention. You send $1,000, we send $2,000 back. Only going on for the next 30 minutes. Enjoy. BTC address, : and then the address.
Wow.
Yeah.
And people fell for this, it would seem.
Well, it looked like it's coming from Cash App, right? Of course, some people are going to fall
but if someone ever says, "Hey, if you send me $1,000, I'll send you back $2,000," just say, "Hey, let's just skip all of that, and you just send me $1,000."
Right. So, I mean, I guess that would prove that it's your account or something. But
send $1 then.
Yeah, it's obviously
a total scam. Yeah. Anybody that says they're going to pay you twice what you pay them. Anybody that says they're going to pay you 20% more than what you pay them,
I do
is probably
hate
scamming
internet
you.
scammers.
Yeah.
I got to say, this isn't particularly good for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies generally that people did this. But
Well, they could
I
have
will say
accepted
this-
Cash App payments just as easily.
Those can be reversed.
Or PayPal payments. Okay, yeah, true.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a good thing that Bitcoin payments can't be reversed. I realize
It
that
is a
also
good thing.
means that, it leads to bad things like this, but it also means that I can't be scammed out of money.
There have been scams since long before Bitcoin, right?
Yeah,
like
sure.
banks have this happen all the time.
But don't forget, Bitcoin was supposed to be dead several times before this, too.
I think it's like 100 plus times now, that 300 or whatever.
Been declared
There's been
dead.
hundreds of times where the media has declared Bitcoin dead. Clearly, it's not. Now you've seen, and that's why I was going to say, I think this is, I mean, by no means am I an expert on the history of internet scams, but this has got to be one of, if not the biggest, highest profile Bitcoin scam to ever hit the internet. This is huge.
This is one of the biggest scams on the internet. I mean,
This is huge.
You just had some of the top,
the most influential accounts.
people on the planet, do
hacked
a scam
simultaneously. So you
and
do
at
have
the
to wonder.
same time.
You have to wonder. This sounds to me like an inside job at Twitter. I mean, that's
or it
crazy.
was someone who, scoped out all of these people, all of these accounts, and has just been sitting on the information, building it up for several months.
It gets pretty crazy here. So I'm going to share some of the details here from Business
Notice
Insider.
the real Donald Trump wasn't mentioned.
I guess they didn't get
It's
him.
because you can trust the Donald.
Oh, yeah, because he would totally not fall for a phishing attack.
It's because that would have, revealed the scam nature of it. The current president of the United States trying to give away Bitcoin, everybody would have. Well, no, they
ruined
wouldn't
it.
have, because people are stupid, aren't
So
they?
all of the accounts did the same tactic. They used different wording a little bit here and there, but they used the same tactic of send us $1,000, we'll send you $2,000 back. The messages appear to employ a common scam tactic used to fleece people out of money by falsely promising to send a bigger sum in return for a payment. And you're right, Arya. Anybody who sat there and thought about it for a little bit be like, well, that doesn't make sense. Why would they do that?
They should have hacked
scam.
the IRS's account and then had all of these accounts retweet this,
The IRS.
where it says,
Oh, man.
"Get your $1,200 bonus COVID such and such.
Just send
Send
$200 or
whatever to this address."
Don't give them ideas, Mark.
Just saying.
Several of the scam tweets were deleted shortly after they were posted, only to be reposted minutes later.
Wow.
A Twitter spokesperson told Business Insider the platform is, quote, looking into the apparent scam activity. Twitter said in a tweet
We have investigated ourselves and found nothing wrong.
that it's, quote, investigating and taking steps to fix it, unquote. They appeared to have disabled tweets from verified accounts shortly after 6 p.m. as hacks continued. So this is pretty fresh. As hacks continue, Twitter said in a subsequent tweet that some people, quote, may be unable to tweet, unquote, while they investigate. The scam messages were posted after several high-profile cryptocurrency companies' Twitter accounts shared malicious links, including KuCoin, Binance, which is, by the way, the #1 exchange on the planet. Binance got their account taken.
What about, Coinbase doesn't count in this because it's not exactly the same, right?
Coinbase and
I don't know if they were
Binance
hacked.
are pretty similar.
Coinbase is one of the top exchanges on the planet right now. I mean, they're huge, but I don't think they're anywhere near as big as Binance. Gemini also got taken, another Bitcoin exchange. As noted by the Malware Tech blog, the website used in the links titled Crypto for Health was pulled offline shortly after the tweets were posted. So, according to the story here, Binance CEO Changpeng Zhao tried to warn his followers the tweets were a scam shortly after they were posted. But his account was apparently also compromised, and the hackers quickly hid his warning.
Wow.
CoinDesk's Twitter account was also compromised. CoinDesk is a major cryptocurrency news website.
Yeah.
The outlet said it had, get this, multi-factor authentication enabled on their account, meaning that hackers supposedly were able to breach both the account and their secondary two-factor device that linked to the account. How did they pull that one off? I mean, you're talking about scamming a...
It sounds like they just hacked Twitter.
It sounds like Twitter got hacked or an inside job at Twitter. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a security expert, but...
It's possible to defeat multi-factor authentication. I mean, it requires like SIM duplication and stuff like that. So it is possible, but you got to imagine a company like Cash App's probably not running something that basic.
Well, in this case, it was CoinDesk that had the multi-factor. So
I'm sure they all did.
Well, I doubt that most of these I don't think Kanye West or Barack Obama necessarily. Do you
I don't
think those
believe
guys are with
I
it?
don't believe Twitter got hacked until a real account like Demi Moore's gets hacked.
855-450 free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. You probably shouldn't give them money.
News from news.bitcoin.com. Another 83 tons in fake gold found in China. Crypto still much harder to counterfeit. Host Stefan Molyneux banned from YouTube. Receives $100,000 in crypto donations afterward. Reporters uncover $11 trillion in offshore government-sanctioned bank accounts. Bitcoin Cash still potentially private and unconfiscatable. Bitcoin.com is your source for getting started with cryptocurrencies. Getting a wallet, buying Bitcoin Cash, mining, and all the latest cryptocurrency news at news.bitcoin.com.
This is John Stossel. Anything that makes it harder for you to speak limits your life. So if stuttering affects you or your child or someone you know, you can call the Stuttering Foundation for help. The number is 800-992-9392. That's toll free 800-992-9392. Or you can visit their website www.stutteringhelp.org. They can refer you to expert help in your state.
Got shaving irritation? Shave Secret shaving oil can help stop it. Shave Secret doesn't cost much and is an all-American product. My name is Chuck Howard, and I developed Shave Secret and pioneered its use starting back in 1991. Ingrown hairs drove me nuts for years. Shaving oil changed all that. Why put up with ingrown hair, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts? Shave Secret provides men and women with what we believe is the best shave ever. Our proprietary blend of 100% natural base and essential oils, plus a hint of menthol, was designed to help eliminate shaving irritations like ingrown hairs, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts. We'll lose those shaving irritations. Available at Super Walmart, H-E-B, Wegmans, Giant Eagle, Discount Drug, Navy and Marine Exchanges, Amazon, and ShaveSecret.com. Use the code FTL for Free Talk Live and get a discount. Shave Secret, the best shave ever.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with AgristHosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to AgristHosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's AgristHosting.com.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
It's Free Talk Live, and you can take control of the airwaves. The toll-free number is 855-450 free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. A major Twitter hack. This is a huge story right now because of the people involved in the hack. This wasn't just one or two accounts that got compromised and they posted a scam message trying to, steal Bitcoin from people or scam it from people. No, this was dozens, apparently, of accounts, and including major corporations and major figures like Jeff Bezos, Mike Bloomberg, Kanye West, Apple Computers, Bitcoin.org. The Bitcoin homepage account got taken out. That's different than Bitcoin.com. Keep that in mind. Coinbase, Ripple, all compromised.
Coinbase
Barack
got
Obama,
hit. Ha.
Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Bill Gates, Elon Musk. I mean, I'm just reading from the news articles. I'm sure there's more than what they're highlighting here. So this is a big deal. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. By the way, since we are telling you about cryptocurrency, I do want you to know about Divvy. The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to spend, earn, store, and exchange digital money in seconds. Divvy says you'll be able to send money around the globe in only a swipe and instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat currencies like the dollar right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. There's no need to wait, though, as Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with their multi-tiered masternodes, allowing anyone to earn by supporting the Divvy network. When the new Divvy wallet launches, because of their relationship with Western Union, Divvy will be in 200 countries, including the United States. You can learn more at diviproject.org, D-I-V-I project.org. Now, Aria, right when we went to break, you pointed out that it may not have been just the CoinDesk account, which is, again, a major internet news network for cryptocurrency. They got hacked on Twitter, and they pointed out in an interview that they had two-factor security turned on, which supposedly should mean that it would have been near to impossible to hack their account unless the hackers had physical access to the security device in question. Or unless what we were saying, maybe the hackers have back-end access into Twitter and were able to compromise their database in some way, because you think that would have been the case for all of these accounts.
Yeah, I don't know what Twitter's policies are, never having had a verified account on Twitter, but I know that like Facebook, if you have a certain amount of reach, like when I became an admin of the Free Talk Live page, it required me to set up two-factor authentication in order to be able to admin the Facebook page.
So irritating.
And but I mean, that's nowhere near the reach of like Jack Dorsey or any of these, whoever they are, Jeff Bezos.
Well, one of our
so I would
activist
imagine
friends,
that anyone who has the verified tag on Twitter has to also have two-factor authentication.
That's what one of our activist friends up here says. Will has posted in the ForkFest chat room that verified accounts means two-factor was compromised on all of these accounts. And so if that's the case, there's almost no way they could have fished the
and even if they would have,
two-factor.
it wouldn't have been cost effective. I mean, right now we're being told that there's 11 Bitcoin in this wallet, some of which they may have sent to themselves, some of which may have been, people being scammed or whatever. But even so, 11 Bitcoin doesn't even come close to how much it would cost to execute an attack like this.
I mean, you can go...
This is years of social engineering in order to get all of this information.
That's if they did it that way. Yeah. Unless they are they've got a backdoor into Twitter's database, in which case then they could have all the codes. Because for listeners that aren't familiar, we should explain two-factor, because it may be new to some people out there. So the old way of getting onto a website was username and password, you're in. Yep. Right? That's it. Maybe they'd send you an email to verify that you're a real person or whatever, but that's it. But then that's not good enough, because it's easy to phish that information, or PHISH is what they mean by that. Is you send an email or you send a link out to somebody pretending to be somebody you're not, and you
saying, hey, I need you to reset your password, type it in here to reset it.
Right. And then they, not thinking about what just happened, okay, I'll do whatever this person says, and they, type it in. Oh, it's my IT department, right? They're telling me to reset my password. Okay, here's my username, here's my password.
When I worked IT, I used to test clients by
and
sending
they fail
them
all the time, right?
Every single time. Never had one say, wait a minute, this isn't right. And I would intentionally misspell things from accounts that I have never used before, using bad grammar and all this other stuff. Like, hey, I need you to tell me your password again because I can't connect to your computer. Every single time they would give me the information.
Right. So phishing is not a hard thing to do.
Was that through like email, or was that?
It was through email, yes.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure
through email accounts that weren't mine. It just claimed to be me.
Right.
I mean, I did control them, but they had no way of knowing that.
They didn't know that. You were putting them to the test, and they failed.
Every single time.
And you brought it to their attention, and then they failed again at a later date?
I never did the follow-up testing.
Okay.
That was someone else.
Still, though, that's sad. So that's what phishing is, right? It's where you trick somebody essentially into giving up their information, and that used to be enough to get you into their account. Well, then somebody came up with this idea of two-factor authentication. Now, there's a sort of rudimentary version of this where they will send a code to your cell phone number, but that one's kind of easy to get around through like cell phone phreaking and hacking or whatever. And
that's the whole SIM card cloning. And,
So,
I mean, you can call AT&T right now and tell them that you're calling for, I don't know, some company, and that you need a new SIM card for your phone, and they will send it to you. You pop it into a new phone, activate it, and you're receiving all of that phone number as text messages.
Yeah, so there's some pretty hacky sort of things you can do with cell phones. So somebody said, all right, we got to come up with something else. So they came up with this thing called Authenticator app, which is available. Google's got one, Microsoft has one, LastPass has one. There's a bunch of these things out there. But essentially what they do is they use this code that, I don't know what you want to call it. It's not like a hash or something.
It's this code that just changes. It's a 6-digit code that changes every minute or so.
But
it's 30 seconds.
It's every 30 seconds. And there's a buffer on the other side, so it's actually longer than 30 seconds because if you're a few seconds late putting it in, you can usually get in. So the code changes, and you have an app that shows you this code. The app is on your phone, or there's like apparently a Linux version, but it's usually a phone app. And so when you log into the website, you use your username and password. That gets you past step 1, and then it asks you for the 6-digit code from your Authenticator app, and then you type in the code, and then it lets you in. Well, in order to phish that from somebody, it would be very difficult, because when you set up two-factor...
I wouldn't even know how to give anybody that information.
That's what I'm saying. When you set up a two-factor authentication, when you initially turn that on whatever website, so if it's Twitter, they say, all right, you got to enable two-factor. You have to scan this QR code with your phone with this app in order to ingest that code.
Or you copy and paste the key.
And that's the thing. There is a key that is what that QR code is representing.
Sure.
So it's a key of random-looking letters and
Well, I think
numbers.
the QR code usually contains additional information like the name of the website.
Yeah, it does.
And all of that. And the key itself does it.
That's
the
right.
claim isn't that it's impossible to have socially engineered all of these hacks at once. It's just unlikely.
It's highly, nearly impossible. I mean, this is because to get that key from somebody. When's the last time you, Mark, copied down the key for a two-factor setup?
All I've ever done is scan it with a QR code from my Authenticator app.
Yeah, so that's bad security. And here's why. So if you don't copy down that key, that usually they will give to you at the same time. They'll give you the QR code, and then underneath it, it's like, here's the key that this QR code represents. If you don't copy that and put it in a safe place, what happens when you lose your phone?
Well, you just switch from one phone to the other. You mean lose your phone?
Yeah, what if you lose your phone?
I don't know.
Then it's going to be a real pain in the butt to reset all those two factors, because then you got to
How do you go get the key then?
You can't. It's gone. You can't get into your account.
You can remove two-factor authentication and then re-add it, getting a new key.
You usually can't do that unless you have access to the old key.
No, I'm saying he needs to do this now. Right, to prevent this from happening, you need to remove the two-factor authentication and then re-add it.
We got more coming up, but my point is most people don't know about any of this stuff. It's Free Talk Live.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you get the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at anypayinc.com. anypayinc.com.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app, and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
We have some good news. The indictments against Ross Ulbricht in the District of Maryland were dismissed with prejudice, meaning they can never be refiled. This is especially good because those indictments contain the only charge ever made that Ross engaged in murder for hire. This was a serious allegation that Ross Ulbricht denies. It was never prosecuted or ruled on by a jury, but was trumpeted by the federal government and the media as if it were proven fact. The Maryland court held these indictments for almost 5 years, poisoning Ross's case and leaving him under a cloud of unproven allegations. As explained in Ross's appeal to the Supreme Court, the fact that the judge used these allegations to give Ross a draconian sentence of double life without parole violated his Sixth Amendment right to a jury trial. Judges are required to issue sentences based on convictions decided by a jury, not unproven allegations never even charged at trial. Although this is a positive development, the dropped indictment will not set Ross free. Now, a presidential pardon is Ross's only hope of freedom. Sign the petition at freeross.org. freeross.org.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you receive the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at AnyPayInc.com. AnyPayInc.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
A report released Tuesday by physicists at Stanford University revealed that the entire known universe, from the whole of human civilization to the totality of matter and energy, is actually the fictional setting of a cop show called Hard Case. According to authors of the report, existence as we know it was created solely to provide the framework for the primetime drama that airs weekly in a parallel universe, and that every historical event prior to the show's September 2008 pilot, including the Renaissance, World War II, evolution, the September 11th attacks, and the presidential administrations of Washington through Clinton, never actually happened and are merely part of the elaborate backstory crafted by Hard Case creator and showrunner Dominic Egan.
We used to believe that our universe operated under immutable laws of thermodynamics and gravitational relativity, but now we know everything just comes from the minds of Hard Case's 12 staff writers. Overall, it seems like a very well-written show.
Physicists have theorized that the universe as we know it will cease to exist whenever Hard Case airs its final episode.
This is the Onion News Network.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. You dial toll free if you would like to join us. The number here is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. And I don't want to make it sound like I'm not susceptible to a scam. I've fallen for some Bitcoin scams in the past, and hopefully I've learned my lessons from that. But I think I can't speak for you guys, but Mark, I know that we both fell for the same one long time ago.
MyBitcoinWallet.com scam, yeah, way back.
Yep, where they
I wish that was the only one I ever fell for.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've fallen for another one since then in recent years as well.
But you do a lot of transactions, and I mean, when you're talking about, as many
it didn't have to do with volume. It had to do with them appealing to the right time, the right moment, and me not checking. They pretended to be the right person and knowing enough to where I didn't check like I should have on this person, and they got me. They got me good. And somebody else is now pretending to be me online. So if you see anybody pretending to be FTL Ian, somebody showed up on Telegram just, I think, yesterday and was using the username at FTL_lowercase LAN.
So when you glance at it, it's identical.
It looks just like the capital I.
Yeah.
Right? Because most unless you get the right font turned on, there's no serifs, so you can't, there's no difference between them at a glance.
Although more recent people should stop using sans serif fonts.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I don't know if this person was successful at getting anything because
serifs just get in the way.
As soon as somebody noticed this was happening, they gave me a heads up, and I put it out on my social media. And then I think you actually sent the person a message on purpose.
Yeah, I messaged them asking them to loan me some Bitcoin.
Right, because I gave out their username, so now anybody could message the scammer.
Yes.
And so within an hour, they'd changed their name to a different Mark, a different person they were then pretending to be. Not you, Mark, but a sucker. But so anyway, there's all kinds of scams out there. You got to be careful. If somebody's asking you for Bitcoin, you need to double, triple, quadruple verify that you know who you're talking to and that it's actually the person that you believe that it is.
Sounds like sound advice to me. Yeah.
In this case, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Cash App, Apple Computer, Wendy's apparently.
All I hear is the Democrats will scam you out of your Bitcoin.
I mean, I get that. I get why people would fall for it in the event that it was Cash App, because I already know that Cash App
Bitcoin.
Because Cash App sells Bitcoin. So they're trying to, do a good thing here, but it still doesn't make sense that they would require you to send them 1,000 Bitcoin.
I think
that's and why to this address? You could open up Cash App and send it directly to your Cash App address to prove you are who you are.
If, for whatever reason, Barack Obama's tweet came across my Twitter feed, and understand I don't use Twitter much, so the likelihood of this happening is slim. But if that were to happen, I would be making decisions based as a sort of an American, understanding that Barack Obama had every opportunity to make Bitcoin legal and consumable, and the idea that he would do that.
Bitcoin is legal.
I understand, but he could have made it a heck of a lot more legal, right? He could have made it.
He could have made it less regulated.
He could have done all kinds of things to make it more accepted and ubiquitous, and frankly, it's a more moral money. So he could have increased the morality of money in America tremendously. And the idea,
if he were a moral person, he could have done that.
The idea that a tweet
instead
would
he
come
was dropping
from him,
bombs on children,
and the idea
Doctors Without Borders hospitals.
Yes. The idea that a tweet would have come from him about Bitcoin would have really confused me.
Sure.
However,
but you're not following Barack Obama.
If I'm a person who has, mild English skills in, say, the Philippines or something, and Barack Obama seems like, the best darn thing out there, and, he's the savior of the world and stuff, then maybe I could have been fooled.
Rachel Tobach, CEO of cybersecurity firm Social Proof Security, said the attack was likely the largest Twitter had ever seen. Quote, "I'm surprised Twitter hasn't gone completely dark to prevent misinformation campaigns and political upheaval. We're lucky the attackers are going after Bitcoin and not motivated by chaos and destruction." I'm not sure what kind of destruction they could do besides take over somebody's account and post mean things.
Well, I mean, this is the platform that Donald Trump, the president of the United States, uses to reach out to his followers. They could have caused a fair bit of chaos if they had taken control of his account and posted, some kind of KKK crap. Not the subtle crap, but something overt.
Some of the accounts have huge followings. Gates has 51.1 million Twitter followers. Musk, 36.9 million. Apple, 4.5 million. So this is a huge attack. We were talking about
Bill Gates has like 10 times as
many followers as Apple.
As many followers as Apple.
Yeah, amazing.
Well, Windows dominates the computer world.
I use Windows. I don't follow Bill Gates.
Fair.
Maybe they're fake follows. Maybe he hired an Indian firm to pump him up. Maybe he would only have like 5 million, but he wanted 10 times that amount. So we're talking about how difficult of an attack this would be to pull off, because if indeed these were verified accounts, that probably means they likely were two-factor security. And I was describing what two-factor was like, and I was asking you questions, Mark, as somebody who's a user of two-factor, how familiar you were with the idea of backing up your two-factor keys. You'd never even heard of this.
I hadn't.
Right? So you don't know how to get to your key because you didn't back it up. And I guarantee you Barack Obama didn't back his up either. And, a lot
I don't know, man. He's got a team of people to make sure he doesn't do stupid crap like that.
All right. Well, if
hope.
If these guys all had this backed up, Joe Biden, all these characters, they all had their keys backed up.
Creepy Uncle Joe definitely didn't.
Yeah, but again, maybe he has the same team.
Okay, true.
So if they all had this backed up somewhere, well, then all these hackers would have had to have somehow found that information somehow. Because that's not something you can just fish out of somebody. You can't just send an email saying, "Hey, Mark, we need to reset your password here. Need your username, password, and your two-factor key. You've got that handy, right?"
Well, in a lot of these cases, like I don't know about Twitter, but in a lot of these cases, you can go into your settings on whatever website and still get your two-factor authentication key.
If you were able to authenticate into the site in the first place.
Yes.
But they don't have the key to get into the site, so they can't get the key if they don't already have the key. You have to have the key in order to get the key, right?
Right.
Unless
That's
you're
why
turning
I'm
it on for the
generally
first
not
time.
bothered when it's there and available on the site.
Unless you're turning it on for the very first time, you have to have the key. So this is a near impossibility to try to fish this information out of all these people. That I can't even see that as being done. Like you were saying, this would cost so much money and so much time and effort. It wouldn't be worth what they were getting out of it.
No.
But if they
There's
have
no
a
amount of
back
Bitcoin
door,
they could get that would have made this worth it.
but if they have a back door at Twitter, if they're one of the Twitter IT guys or whatever, and he's got access to the whole two-factor database or wherever it is they store these
He wouldn't
keys.
even need that. I'm sure someone there has the technological capabilities to just send out a tweet from whatever account they want.
Could be. But
well,
they
let's
don't want
figure
to
that out.
You don't
But
have to be
he
traced.
better be on a plane to Bangladesh at this point.
They don't want to be traced, right? So
Sure.
it would make more sense if they got the keys and were able to log in. Now, if it's all being done in a 1 hour's time frame, then that definitely suggests a multiple person job, right? Like they've got to log into all these different accounts unless they had a script do it, which they could have. So I don't know. It's fascinating.
It is very interesting. So you think, Ian, I mean, you're the one who fixes all my tech stuff.
Job.
Yeah, you think this is an inside job? Okay.
And she's an IT pro.
And you two aren't the sort to wax conspiratorial. I mean, you don't say, I think this was an inside job too often.
Well, I don't think it was Twitter's intention, right? Like it was just somebody at Twitter. That's my guess.
Sure.
Or
That's
somebody
an inside
hacked
job.
Twitter. Either it was somebody on the inside, which is, in my opinion, more likely than a hack, but it could have been
because
a
a
hack.
hacker on the outside is going to be unlikely to be able to obtain this level of information.
Right.
I mean, most of this should be air-gapped to some extent, right? They shouldn't be able to log in remotely and gain access to people's two-factor authentication.
Well, it wouldn't be unbelievable if it weren't air-gapped. I mean, there's plenty of companies with sloppy
for
security in that way. But it's just more likely, in my opinion, to be an inside job because in a lot of cases when you hear about things happening to companies, it's frequently an insider. It's somebody who's maybe they did work there or maybe they do work there, but somebody who had access. Maybe a contractor even. Who knows? But I don't know if we hear more about this, we'll definitely bring it to you. But this is huge news right now because this was on major influencer accounts across dozens of accounts, and so a lot of people could have fallen for this. And so the takeaway here is, again, if something seems too good to be true, please don't do it. No one is going to give you twice the Bitcoin that you deposit with them. That's just not going to happen.
Right. There's a couple of types of scams, and they all rely on
Greed.
Easy money.
Yeah, greed. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Coming up, more huge news. Walmart saying they are going to chain-wide require face coverings across the entire United States in all of their stores. This is Free Talk Live.
Have you ever thought about turning your Glock, XD Family, or 1911 handgun into a semi-automatic carbine? It only takes about 30 seconds. The MacTech Carbine Upper is classified as an accessory and can be delivered right to your doorstep with no FFL or background check required. It's the world's most versatile pistol accessory. Build your custom upper today. Simply go to handgunconversion.com. That's handgunconversion.com.
When you have a pain in the neck, a real pain in the neck, back, shoulder, or legs, you now have two convenient choices to get fast relief without taking another pill. Because now, Sunny Bay heating wraps and pillows are available at both Amazon and Walmart. Yes, see Sunny Bay's 4.5 to 5-star customer reviews on Amazon.com or Walmart.com. Our made in the USA microwavable heat wraps, heatable neck pillows, and extra large body wraps are designed better for perfect support where and when you need it. Even while driving, Sunny Bay wraps will not burn and stay balanced to provide soothing hot or cold therapy to help treat temporary or chronic pain. And the best part? Sunny Bay quality products start at under $20. Join thousands of happy customers and see why Sunny Bay products have a lifetime 100% positive rating on both Amazon and Etsy. It's easy. Click Amazon or Walmart and search today for Sunny Bay.
Do the letters IRS give you anxiety? I'm Dan Pilla. I've defended people from the IRS for more than 40 years. My book, How to Get Tax Amnesty, created the tax resolution industry and is responsible for helping hundreds of thousands of people. It can help you too. If you're a non-filer or facing IRS enforcement right now, your case is unique. You need real help, not cookie-cutter advice. My clients get my personal attention. Buy my book at danpilla.com and get a free consultation directly with me. That's danpilla.com. Let's start solving your tax problem right now.
A congressman recently revealed that legislation totaling 2,900 pages and involving more than $1 trillion was available to members of Congress for less than 48 hours to study and consider. That's over 60 pages of legislation per hour. Do you think anyone read the entire bill? I'm Jim Babka with DownsizeDC.org. Consider a proposal buried in a 3,200-page, $388 billion bill, which would have empowered committee chairmen or their agents to examine Americans' tax returns. When this horrible provision came to light, no one claimed to know how it got into the bill. One congressman questioned said, "I didn't write it, I didn't approve it, I wasn't even consulted." If your attorney represented you this way, he might be disbarred. But this is how Congress represents you every day. That's why DownsizeDC.org has created the Read the Bills Act. You can force Congress to read their bills before they pass them at DownsizeDC.org.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
How many lawyers does it take to change a light bulb? None. They'd rather keep their clients in the dark. There are too many lawyer jokes to count. However, there are some lawyers with more noble intentions. At the Institute for Justice, we bring the light to our clients. We are a non-profit public interest law firm with clear values and principles. At IJ, we fight for those whose most basic rights are denied by the government. Visit our website today at ij.org.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
Retalk Live, you can dial in toll free here and bring up anything you want. The number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. In the studio with you tonight, you've got Ian,
Aria, and Mark.
Want to say thank you to Lord Porcupine, who is a Free Talk Live Platinum Amplifier, and he's also a really cool guy who moved here with his partner earlier this year, moved to New Hampshire. They were at Fork Fest hanging out. They were actually there for the second week of Fork Fest, which was super cool. So it was great to see Lord Porcupine out there. Longtime amplifier. Platinum level means he's doing $25 a month. So thank you for that, Lord Porcupine. We only ask for 5, so he's doing 5 times what we have requested.
Big spender.
Definitely appreciate it. It helps us advertise, market, and promote Free Talk Live, which means it helps us get on more radio stations around the United States because, well, I wish there were other people that were spreading a principled message of freedom on broadcast radio, but at least in syndication, there's no one else doing this. So we appreciate your support. You can join Lord Porcupine, $5 a month. That's all you got to do over at amp.freetalklive.com, ampamp.freetalklive.com. As the world continues to go even more insane than it has ever been with this COVID crackdown stuff, the headlines just continue to roll in about states. Got to press the pause button, they say, or reverse course and start reclosing a lot of the places that they had allowed to reopen for, 3 weeks? 4 weeks in some cases?
Yeah.
Sorry, you thought you could run a bar in the United States? Well, in many states, you've been reclosed down completely. There's no provisions on how you can open up at this point. They have targeted bars as though bars are the largest threat to anybody out there.
Yeah.
And it's insane. And now you and I, Arya, today, we did a little experiment.
We did.
A little market experiment. It failed, sadly, but
it failed spectacularly.
We did it. I wouldn't call it spectacular. There wasn't much that went on.
Well, the level of failure was spectacular. The event itself, it was pretty boring.
A total fail. I mean, but it was either going to be a total success or a total fail. There was no middle point. So we went to the local movie theater here in town, which a lot of theaters right now are doing what I consider to be a pretty smart thing. They're showing classic films. And when I say
because
classic,
there's nothing else out.
That's right. There's no new movies coming out, and Hollywood's not going to put anything out for probably months, because no one or very few people are actually going to the theater. So these theaters, desperate for some semblance of revenue, some kind of business, they're playing classic movies. And when I say classic, I don't mean black and white. I mean like the 80s and the 90s from 30 or 40
movies that people
ago.
may want to go see in the theater.
Jurassic Park.
Right. When are you going to go see Jurassic Park in the movie theater?
The original.
While we were at Forkfest, it turned out that Jurassic Park was the #1 at the box office one weekend.
Again, Jurassic Park with $500,000 gross over 250 screens, I think, or something like that. I don't remember the numbers now. It wasn't large. There were not very many screens. There were not very many.
Well, there's
not a lot of revenue.
Not a lot, but I think this is exciting. So for one, now I'm not interested in going to movie theaters right now.
Well, of course not. There are people there. And you're Mark Edge.
Well,
there weren't many people when we went there.
There were more than I expected.
True.
If you're sitting, many times when I go to the movie theater, you've got 10 or 15 people in the theater.
Around here, that's pretty typical,
you
or
can
less.
Spread out.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm bringing my family, we're allowed to sit next to each other. We're sitting next to each other anyway. So people can really space themselves out. You don't need an usher coming in with a little riding crop.
Sir, over here.
You must move.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. They didn't require masks or, as far as I know, social distancing inside the actual auditorium areas. It was only in the common areas like the lobby where one had to wear a mask.
Right. We had been told by one of our activist friends here who had been going to this theater recently, he's gone multiple times, that they were requiring masks in the lobby. And so the question was, well, what if a group of us went and basically said we're not going to wear masks, when they asked us to? And that's what we did today. We only were able to get 3 people on short notice. I think it was a friend of yours and me. And I went up to ask to order the tickets.
He doesn't even agree with us on the mask thing.
Oh, really?
He just wanted to see Back to the Future.
Oh, man. Well, he didn't go in on his own. But the idea was that
I don't think he brought a mask.
Well, I think they had them. Didn't they offer them? I think he offered them.
I don't recall.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
It was all very quick and over very quickly.
I walked in. I said 3 tickets to Back to the Future. He said $15 because they're only doing $5 a holler or whatever, which is nice price. And then I started to pull out my wallet, and he said something about masks are required in the lobby, and would I like one or something? I think he had them, and I said, no, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude, but I'm not going to do that. And he asked why, and I probably should have said it's against my religion, but I just wanted to say...
I think you said I don't want to.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, look, I'm not going to, or whatever. I just refused.
That's my preferred response, because it doesn't matter why I choose not to do a thing. It's my choice to not do the thing.
Exactly. And it was his choice at that point to decline service, which he did.
Yes, he did.
So,
and we respected that and left.
Yeah, I turned around and walked out. Didn't throw I'm not there to throw a fit. I just wanted to go and see what would happen.
Test the boundaries.
Because there wasn't a line of people or anything like that. I mean, there were maybe 5 other people that had walked in before us within the 10 minutes that I was standing there watching.
Yeah.
Because I was waiting
on you guys. I can't believe they
survived.
survived.
Well, they just reopened in July. So
I meant the people standing in front of you. You weren't wearing a mask, were you?
No. There wasn't a line. So they already were in. And then we went in, so there was no one else in the room at the time. So they the thought was if they're not getting a whole lot of business, and they're not. The guy we know
may set in.
The guy that we know said when he was going to see movies, there was no one else in the theater. He was the only person in the entire theater, with the exception of Empire Strikes Back, where 3 people.
Yeah. So if let's say you've got 6 theaters and you're playing $5 movies, $5 classic movies. Now I don't know what the movie companies are getting off of it.
I don't either.
But usually it's probably not.
I think we read actually an article that at least with the first run movies,
with first run movies, it's about half. Yeah. But I'm guessing it's less than that
for these, maybe.
Yeah, let's call it 66% just to split the baby here. And if you're putting 2 people in each theater, you're getting $10 out of it, so $6.66 for the theater.
You got one kid running all the cameras
across 6 theaters.
Projectors.
Presumably, you've got 2 people in the building.
There were 2, according to the person who went most recently.
Right, so you're up to there's probably some overhead costs or whatever, $36 per run, and you're doing that several times a day. I'd say it's possible to break even at these numbers. Not great, but
if you sell a few snacks, maybe.
You want people, snacks. Yeah, you want people coming in.
Yep.
Consider that you got to pay employees hourly, not by the
theater pays,
hour and a half movie.
Theater jobs are the lowest paying job I've ever seen.
I mean, you also got to pay the electricity on the place, Mark, and the rent, and all of these other.
But you're paying for half the electricity just by having it hooked up.
Well,
so you might as well be
that's my
using
point.
it.
I don't see how they could possibly break even with these numbers.
But with the rent and everything, it doesn't make a difference. They're already paying the rent. They're already paying half the electric.
That's my
pay
point.
For the heat.
But they're not getting the revenue.
Money.
They're not getting the revenue.
They're losing less.
I think it's going to to be very hard. I think we're going to see a lot of theaters close. Because
I think that it may be
unsustainable.
over.
This is unsustainable.
If this goes on much
it's
longer,
like Ian pointed out, for like $500 or $600, you can set up your house and not have to deal with all of the people in the movie theater.
Yeah, it's about when you get the first run movie. So the reason that I go to movie theaters right now is because
they have it first.
They, I haven't got my new TV set up the way I want it set up, and because I haven't got my house remodeled or whatever. So that'll probably be next year or the year after, and then I'm going to set up the best thing around. But the movie theater will still have the movie 2 months before I can get it at home.
That may be changing.
You can get around that with a transport stream or something like that you torrent.
Well, that looks like
I'll give
crap.
you a call.
Oh man, I watched the Avengers Endgame. Allegedly, it was a transport stream. Dude, there was, other than a few places where it got blurry for like a second, it was full HD, man.
Jeez,
it was indistinguishable as a transport stream.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
so
I've
which
watched...
is why I say it was allegedly a transport stream. I'm pretty sure I actually paid Amazon for that, but who knows, man?
All right.
I don't know. It's I think the movie theaters may be dead.
I mean, it looks bad.
Drive-in movies are gone, and somehow we've lived.
What movies?
Drive-in movie theaters.
Actually, there's still.
Well, they were replaced by air conditioning and not burning up your gas and not listening over your cheap car speakers.
Well, and those are the reasons why people are going to leave movie theaters for their home theaters, because of all the reasons we've been through these before, right? Like you can pause the movie, you can go to the bathroom, you can take a break, you can you don't have babies crying. There's so many reasons to not go to the movie theater. But that said, we all grew up with them. Yep. And there's still something special, isn't there, about going to the movies?
I think that all that's holding them together.
The audience
at this point
is special, right? Like sometimes.
No. The only thing that's holding them together is the agreement that the movie making companies have with the movie showing companies
to keep them on top, to keep them the first release.
This is making that go away.
Well, they started to break that when Universal put out the Trolls sequel during COVID,
right?
And did very well. In fact, did better on a percentage of what the revenue was than the previous Trolls movie. So it didn't. I don't think it brought in as much revenue total, but it brought in more revenue to the company, the movie company, because they were getting 80% instead of 50% on the numbers. We're coming up here, and what's going on at Walmart. We'll tell you about that bad news coming up.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had gotten involved sooner? Well, now is your chance to be a part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream, for people to use it for everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that is as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com. The LRN.FM's social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,811, silver at $19.51, and Bitcoin is trading around $9,254. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, on a trip to COVID-19 riddled Florida over the weekend, President Donald Trump not so cryptically revealed that he had something big planned for Venezuela during a meeting with leaders of the U.S. military's Southern Command. Something will happen with Venezuela, that's all I can tell you, Trump said, before adding that Washington would be very much involved in what he was referencing. Minpress News reports that on Trump's orders, Southern Command moved large numbers of forces to the region, ostensibly to conduct a counter-narcotics operation against Venezuela, which the U.S. has described as a narco state, with the DEA offering a $15 million bounty for President Maduro's head. This, despite the fact the U.S. government's own reports on drug smuggling barely even mention Venezuela, and official summaries show that U.S. allies, Colombia and Ecuador, are the sources of the vast majority of South American drugs that end up in the United States. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. Amazon has introduced a cart that knows what you are purchasing while you throw it in, Como News reported. The cart uses cameras, sensors, and a scale to automatically detect what shoppers are putting in it. It keeps a tally and then charges their Amazon account when they leave the store without ever having to go to a register. Activist Post reports Amazon opened a cashierless supermarket in Seattle that uses cameras and sensors in the ceiling to track what shoppers grab and charge them as they leave. Amazon.com Inc. also has roughly 25 cashierless convenience stores with similar technology. This new piece of tech will likely now roll out across its stores. However, there are no plans for that right now, as this is just a test. The cart is known as the Amazon Dash Cart. It's being tested at a new Los Angeles supermarket Amazon is opening later this year. The practice of dumping banned toxic chemical waste on poorer societies by big corporations in rich countries must end. So says the experts at the United Nations Human Rights Council. While stricter regulations apply regarding dumping in regions like Europe and North America, they are often virtually non-existent in African, Asian, or Latin American countries. Last year, at least 30 rich countries exported locally banned toxic substances to poorer states, primarily to save money and resources, allowing corporations to write off their costly waste as an externality, transferring the costs onto some of the poorest people on the earth. There are usually far fewer regulations against harmful substances in poorer countries, often because their governments have been deposed by Western ones, with institutions like the World Bank imposing extreme forms of neoliberalism governance on them, forcing them to deregulate and privatize their economies. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
A new Gallup poll found that the GOP has an overwhelming advantage among young people who look like old men. The poll shows Republicans hold a solid lead among the coveted elderly youth demographic, including 18 to 24-year-olds who wear suspenders and bow ties to class every day. I'm joined by Republican strategist Rob Powell. These are pretty encouraging numbers for the GOP, aren't they?
Yeah, of course, it's very encouraging. Millennials who look like they're permanently dressed for boat trips are a rapidly growing segment of the population.
And according to the survey, the prematurely aged are also very politically active.
Absolutely. Only about 20% of young people vote overall, but there's almost 100% turnout among youth that dress like a dad from a 1950s sitcom.
Now, what about the criticism that the GOP only appeals to white men?
Not true. We also have a lot of support among sorority girls that wear pantsuits and pearls, paunchy Chinese college students, and we're making inroads among African American ham radio enthusiasts.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live. You can bring up whatever you want. The toll-free number here is 855-450-FREE. Walmart coming out with a major announcement apparently today that they are going to be requiring shoppers to wear face coverings starting on July 20th, so in 5 days, in all of their stores and clubs across the United States. Joining you in the studio here tonight, it's Ian.
Aria.
And Mark.
So, yeah, this is, of course, huge news. Walmart, obviously the number one retailer, certainly in the United States, one of the top ones across the planet.
Well, it's good news for Amazon.
Yeah, well, for those of us who are not in favor of masks,
right?
Obviously, Walmart is trying to pander to those who are in favor of masks. They are pandering to fear, just like all the corporations are doing. As you watch the television, which I don't watch TV, but
they don't want to get shut down. I mean,
I did watch a little bit of television when I was at Forkfest, trying to fall asleep and all that because I just...
How the hell did you watch television at Forkfest?
There's TVs in the room.
Oh, I've never turned it on.
Me either. See, it's a cathode ray tube TV.
Yeah, old school.
I have to watch something in order to fall asleep. Otherwise, my brain just doesn't...
Yeah.
It doesn't stop. And the commercials, the world view being perpetuated on this box is horrifying. I fully understand why people are so panicky, so crazy, so caught up in this.
It's all the time.
When you have Nike commercials going, we're all in this together. And then the next commercial is Walmart doing the same crap. And then Target doing the same crap. It's just bombarding them every second of every day.
Happy
Turn
people
off
in
that stupid freaking box.
And showing their people in their masks now in the commercials. It's just a part of normal life. This is it.
You walk down Main Street, they have masks on their mannequins at some of these places.
Yeah. I was actually just waking up this morning to the radio news, and I heard an audio clip about, I think a little hazy, right? But it was about schools coming back into effect this fall, or whether or not they are, or whatever. And they had some school executive boss lady from wherever on there commenting, and her comment was something to the effect of, "It's going to be hard for the kids, but we have to make sacrifices because because if we don't, then people will die." And that's just the viewpoint. It's like, kids, you either do all this crazy crap or people will die. If you try to go out on the playground and have fun, if you try to go and play a game of tag, people will die. So yeah, kids, you're going to have to sacrifice. You're going to have no fun whatsoever. You're going to have to sit 6 feet away. We went through some of the requirements.
Yeah, this is why I'm not interested in sending my son back to school
to this mass madness.
States.
Yeah,
and here's the reason: is that the places that
it's poisoning towards children.
No. Listen to me. The places that have that it would probably be fine to open up schools, at least try things out, are unwilling to because they're shell shocked and unwilling to. The places that are willing to open are likely in the midst of the blossoming of this virus. Now, I don't think the kids are going to get sick, but it's possible that the kids could pick up the virus and take it home to grandma.
Johnny, you don't want to kill your grandmother, do you? Well, stop playing tag.
That's so dystopian.
That's what this is.
I know, but I can't even
I laughed out loud. I was all alone in my bed waking up, and I just laughed out of how absurd this ridiculous nonsense is. This is going to be so damaging to the kids of Jack's generation. I mean, it's just it's almost unspeakable.
Well, he's not getting much of that. So,
well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that. I mean, he must be
to
aware.
Him, it's just homeschooling like it used to be.
Is he unaware of all the masked people around? I mean, does he leave the house?
He has to put a mask on sometimes when we go into the convenience store or something. But a convenience store you're in for 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. A school you're in for 8 hours. Right. So if there's going to be a viral buildup in a place, school probably is it.
I mean, other than the fact that these kids are probably not really threatened by the virus.
Maybe not the kids. Maybe their grandparents.
Well, maybe it's time for the grandparents to go.
Well, maybe it is.
Right.
But
hey, look, Granny, why are you trying to take away tag from little Jimmy?
Hey, I was thinking this at one point about the virus is that, hey, the median age is about 80 for the virus, and if you were a government bent on killing a certain amount of the population, you'd probably get rid of the ones that don't contribute as far as taxes and productivity and the economy and these sorts of things.
We're going to go to your phone calls here, and then we can talk more about Walmart's major announcement here. JP is calling from Keene, New Hampshire. You're on Free Talk Live, listening online via TuneIn. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, JP.
I just wanted to hey, how you doing?
What's on your mind?
I wanted to just give an update of a situation that's going on in Dover. I felt the need to let people know that Sarah Warren Latender got 3 of her ribs broken by a Dover police officer, her husband.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that.
And the Dover Police Department charged her as the one who assailed him.
Yeah, I actually had this story in my show prep for tonight. I'm glad you brought it up. Now, from what I understand, this Dover police officer is also like a UFC fighter. Is that true?
Yeah, an MMA.
She assaulted him?
Correct.
That was a bad idea on her part.
Yeah,
it wasn't, because I mean, an MMA fighter should have the training, and the self-control to not break a person's ribs, to not break their girlfriend or their wife's ribs. That's kind of part of the whole martial arts training, is learning when to use it and when not to.
No, okay.
Well, this is a bad situation because she got her kids taken away, a restraining order put on her. Family court is basically taking her kids away because of his position. I don't understand how his own department is the one investigating this at all without any red flags for conflict of interest at all. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. I'm irritated by it, and I'm going to be going there tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday with cameras in all their faces.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Keep us posted on that.
Are you going to post that to the New England Cop Chasers channel, JP?
It's just Cop Chasers YouTube channel. I've been going out the past 3 weeks. I've had a bunch of new videos, but I got a new driver. I got a car. Got my license back. So,
nice.
Yeah, I'm going to be a pain. I'm going to be a pain in their rear for the next 3 days. As soon as my children go to their moms, I'm going to be a pain in their rear.
Well, that's good. And by the way, we are on the air in Dover. It is one of the few places in New Hampshire where we're actually on 7 nights a week.
Nice.
So if anybody is there in Dover, now keep in mind, if you're listening to us on WTSN, they're both on AM and FM there in Dover, which is a college town. if you're there in Dover and you want to comment on this story, keep in mind we are on what's called delay broadcast there in Dover. So you're hearing us about 3 hours after we've actually aired live. So if you would like to comment on this story, call in, mark your calendar to call in between 7 and 10 p.m. tomorrow night, or any night, right? So if you call in, then you'll hear your call later that same night on the air on WTSN. But we'd love
you can call in and then hear yourself. It's amazing.
We would love to hear from you because this is a small town, right? Like most places in New Hampshire are pretty
Dover's
small.
not very big.
Yeah. So besides the college kids, it's the same old townies, right? So people know this cop. People know this lady. And if you want to comment, you don't have to use your real name. You can just call in and say what you want to say. So keep that in mind.
She's got a GoFundMe page that's generated up to $14,000 so far.
She's going to need it for the medical bills.
Right.
And the attorneys.
Yeah, it's for attorney's fees, and she's getting a lawyer for family court and one for criminal, which is just absurd. But
ladies, let's put a warning out. Ladies, you probably shouldn't date that cop because there's a good chance that he's got a problem with violence. Just saying.
This is why it's so easy to hook up with
the
cop
highest
wives,
domestic
man.
violence rate out of any employment in the U.S., according to the FBI.
One more time.
Say that again, JP.
It's the highest rated, domestic violence is the highest rated in law enforcement than any other employer, according to the FBI in the whole U.S.
And any other career.
Oh, that's no surprise.
So, Ari, I want to disabuse you of a notion that somehow senseis at martial arts studios are telling you how to control your...
Yes, Mark, educate the person who's literally a black belt in Muay Thai. Let's do that.
All right.
I'm telling you, they do nothing
What's your belt,
like this.
Mark?
White belt, 3 stripes, jiu-jitsu. Muay Thai is a real martial art.
JP, keep us in the loop here on this, man. I appreciate you calling about it tonight, and good luck out there.
Thanks, Mark.
Yep.
Thanks, Ian.
Yes,
I'll see you
sir.
around.
And normally I wouldn't stay safe, but if you're dealing with cops, be careful. There's more coming up here in moments. 855, 450 free, but he's always rolling with video, so that does help keep you safe from the police. 855-450-3733. It's Free Talk Live.
Did you know you can support freedom of speech just by visiting shop.freetalklive.com? You'll see links to Walmart, Love Java, Newegg, and more. Every day, Free Talk Live is at the forefront of the liberty movement as the biggest liberty-oriented talk show in the world, giving you a platform to be heard on any topic. Get listener-only specials without doing anything other than an extra click. Visit shop.freetalklive.com. Use the links and buy what you'd be buying anyway. Take action now. Save and support freedom. Visit shop.freetalklive.com. It's shop.freetalklive.com. News from news.bitcoin.com. BTC miners give off a signal of intending to sell. Does this mean a bear cycle? New Zealand police seized $91 million from a Russian exchange operator. Anti-crypto SEC head stepping down, making Bitcoin ETFs more likely. And you can make money by referring people to exchange.bitcoin.com. Bitcoin.com is your source for getting started with cryptocurrencies, getting a wallet, buying Bitcoin Cash, mining, and all the latest cryptocurrency news at news.bitcoin.com.
My dog Mojo was half beagle and half coonhound. He ate everything in sight. He would swallow things whole, including a chicken carcass, a bird nest with a bird in it, and assorted stones and sticks. We had to take him to the veterinary emergency room. After surgery, Mojo had skin issues. He was constantly itching and scratching, chewing on his feet and chewing the hair right off of his legs, being irritated, lethargic, and just not the same dog.
DINOVITE.com.
When we put him on the Dinovite, he took right to it. All of these symptoms disappeared.
Dinovite is nutrition. If you want the dog to be healthy, you got to feed it something healthy.
Something that he actually likes to eat. You need to put him on Dinovite.
Dinovite for life.
If you love your dog, you don't just want him healthy, you want him to be happy.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
DINOVITE.com.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive.
It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
I'm crazy about My Magic Mud. This is the most important oral care product created this millennium, and I'm not kidding. We all have different opinions on politics and issues, but we all have mouths. And I want yours to be as clean as possible, with teeth as bright as they were meant to be. I will never be without My Magic Mud. It's a little surprising, but man, does it work. If you only listen to one thing I say ever, go to mymagicmud.com and get 20% off with code FTL. mymagicmud.com, code FTL.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live, and you can join us here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. With you tonight, it's Ian,
Aria,
and Mark.
Intercoin, just as the internet is a global network that connects local networks, Intercoin is a global currency platform that enables communities around the world to issue and manage their own currency to circulate among their local population. Intercoin enables fintech innovation on the local community level, leading to stronger communities, greater sustainability, less poverty, and more productivity. Intercoin is attempting to regain some of our freedoms that are threatened on the internet and in meat space. We think it's important here on Free Talk Live, so we accepted $40,000 worth of Intercoin tokens from Intercoin Incorporated for advertising. If you think freedom is important too, check out Intercoin at intercoin.org. You can invest in this project and potentially make big gains, or just be involved and perhaps shape its future. It's intercoin.org. We've just sort of been talking generally about this new fear society, that it's even worse now. I mean, people have generally been trained to be afraid over the years, but it's just come to a real peak in recent months.
Well, we're hoping it's peaked, right?
No, it could just continue to peak at this point. Right. Could just keep getting worse.
I mean, I watched an argument between a friend of mine and just some stranger on one of these social media sites, where because the friend of mine was refusing to wear a mask, he was both accused of killing this other person's cousin, murdering this other person's cousin. So I mean, that's your first red flag. The guy's making this personal and attacking this person who he's never even met, and somehow attributing a family member's death to his fault.
Completely
but also
irrational.
Accused him of murdering thousands of people by not wearing a mask.
And you and I don't like to wear masks. Mark, he sort of likes the masks, but I don't know, you're not always wearing them. But you're wearing the minority. I mean, it seems, at least if you believe the polls that have been conducted, people seem to be in support of the masks.
See,
the
for
corporations are shoving it down people's throats.
The mask wearing is about sort of signaling to the world, hey, if you want me to wear a mask to show you that I care about you, fine, I'll wear a mask to show I care about you. If that's what makes you
signaling.
Happy. It's all about signaling,
It's certainly not about effectiveness.
I show them the same thing. I care about their humanity, not their warm and fuzzy feelings about how I'm trying to keep their grandmother alive. I don't give a crap about that. I care about them being a human being.
Yep, and this detracts from humanity. I think it's anti-human specifically, and of course, corporations are the ones promulgating this most effectively. You've got the advertising that you were talking about, Aria, on not only television but across the media. You see it on the internet as well. It's everywhere. And corporations, when you walk into these stores, there's signage up all over the place about please wear a mask, or we request that you wear a mask, or in some places we mandate that you wear a mask, and some of them are doing it simply on their own volition, not because the states are mandating it, although there are some states that have mandated it, several of them at least. And so it's hitting everybody from every direction.
And a lot of the businesses are doing it because they believe erroneously that it's been mandated in their state.
This is true, or they just follow what the government recommends, whether it was a mandate or not. You see all these call-outs to, we're following CDC guidelines here. And, they believe that this is some sort of a terrible epidemic and they're doing their part, right? Everybody feels good about this, I'm sure, who's excited about it, right? Like it's the new normal. They're using all these terms, and it's to people like us who love freedom and the ability to connect with another human being by, getting to see their expression on their face. One of the most basic ways for humans to be able to communicate with one another. That this is incredibly deleterious to that. So Walmart announcing Wednesday, that's today, that it will require shoppers to wear a face covering starting on July 20th in all stores around the U.S.
Starting when?
5 days, the 20th.
All right. I'm just curious how many more days I have in which to use Walmart if I need anything before I have to start ordering stuff from Amazon.
The move by the nation's largest retailer comes as coronavirus cases have surged in various states. Remember, deaths have not surged. Cases have surged.
Deaths are up about a little bit more than double in Florida from what they've been.
Walmart noted that currently about 65% of its more than 5,000 stores and clubs are located in areas where there is some form of government mandate on face coverings. The new policy is in place to help bring consistency, said the company. Quote, while we're certainly not the first business to require face coverings, we know this is a simple step everyone can take for their safety and the safety of others in our facilities, said Dakona Smith, the chief operating officer of Walmart, and also another person who is in charge of Sam's Club, in a joint press release. So again, pandering to safety. It's all about safety. If you don't wear a mask.
Well, that's what they say, but there's so much ignorance around the mask thing that it can't possibly be about safety.
No,
like,
it's about
I
show.
work with people who wear N95 masks, and for those who aren't familiar, these are what painters and people who work in attics and
They've
insulation
got a
and stuff like that
filtration
use.
system on them that is
It
time
filters
limited.
the air going in. But the air going out, it doesn't filter that. So they might as well not be wearing a face covering.
Isn't it going through the same thing? Why wouldn't it be filtering it?
There are one-way filters and stuff like that, Mark.
Yeah, well, usually they're valves. I mean, these are just
this valve
fabric.
would be open when you exhale.
Look, I don't
know.
It's a fabric.
I don't know. I don't design. There are valves in N95.
N95?
masks.
I think there's valves in there.
Not my experience.
I've never worn one, so I can't speak to
well,
it.
Not the ones that I've
people
got.
I'm speaking of have the little valves there for the filtration or whatever, and they just assume that it meets the qualifications of what these face mask mandates are supposed to do, but they don't, because they're breathing freely out into the world. They're not protecting anyone. They're protecting themselves.
Well, plus people are adjusting the masks constantly, touching them.
And a lot of the breath goes around the mask. So if you do have a mask that doesn't have a valve and you're breathing out, sure, some of your breath is going through the mask. Some of it's just going around it.
Well, the breath is fine, but all of the spit that comes out when people breathe, the mask is going to catch that. I mean, the spit
and that's a good thing.
Yes, the spit isn't going to come up and out like the air will.
Walmart has created a health ambassador position for each store and will station them near the entrance of stores, along with clear signage to remind people without a mask of the policy. The ambassadors will receive special training and be identifiable by their black polo shirts. The company added the ambassador will work with customers who show up at the store without a covering to try to find a solution, and is currently considering different solutions for customers for when this takes effect. Stores will also have a single entrance, said the company. Sam's Club branches will have associates at entrances to remind customers of the policy as well. Quote, we know it may not be possible.
You will not escape the Walmart ambassador.
For everyone. They say we know it may not be possible for everyone to wear a face covering. Our associates will be trained on those exceptions to help reduce friction for the shopper and make the process as easy as possible for everyone.
Well, see, now we have to go to Walmart on the 20th. You realize that, right?
Kids have fun.
This time, religious objection, because just saying no, they're going to turn you away.
Yeah, sure.
You better come up with your religion.
It is
the
against
Reformed
my
Satanic
religion.
Church absolutely rejects the wearing of masks. It's dehumanizing.
Absolutely. Same with my church. So
There
if
you
you
go.
want to comment, you're welcome to join us. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733.
See, what I would say as a libertarian is that anybody has the right to demand that you wear a mask into their store, and Walmart has demanded that. And I realize in a country where Walmart controls so much of the retail that is restricting, but. Hey,
but I'm going to say again what I said last night, which is they gave up their right to claim private property when they bent over for the mandates by the state.
They also ask for benefits from the state, too. So they get things like property tax waivers and that sort of thing from various different state governments and local governments. So the Walmart saddles up with the state as often as they can to get whatever benefits they can. They're just another arm of the corporate megalith.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had gotten involved sooner? Well, now's your chance to be part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream, for everyone to use it in everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that's as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more, and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com.
There are basically two types of advertising: direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? You can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191.
If you're looking for work, the person you are applying to may be even more nervous than you are. And the way things are now, your references have never been more important. Here are 3 tips. First, know that employers are checking. Every hire is under the microscope these days. Second, they won't just be checking references you provide. Figure that all of your ex-employers will get a call and be asked, would you hire him or her again? Third, assume you will be Googled. So before you apply, remove all those party animal photos from your Facebook page. Even if you're not in the job market, effective communication skills have never been more important, with money and attention so scarce now. For more tips for job seekers and getting better results in all your day-to-day communication, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Yep, it's Free Talk Live. You can dial in toll-free here. Take control of the airwaves. Our number is 855-450, free like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. We have the Discord call-in line rooms over at discord.lrn.fm. With you in the studio tonight, Ian.
Aria.
And Mark.
And don't forget, you can join us online anytime you want over at freetalklive.com. We got a bunch of great features on the website, including archives that go way back for more than a decade. You can just download them at your leisure at freetalklive.com, plus a ton of other features, all of them free. Unlike a lot of those other talk shows that charge you for their websites, we do it free, freetalklive.com. So we've been talking about some of the bad news, and boy, is there a lot of it when it comes to COVID-19 and the associated crackdown on freedoms that continues to get worse. Why? Well, because they got away with it the first time, so there's no reason why they won't get away with doing it again. As we heard earlier this week, California reclosing a bunch of the businesses that they had allowed to reopen, including bars, indoor restaurants, and other places. And we're seeing that happen in other states now as well. Of course, that's bad news for anybody that actually is in business, trying to make a living. You aren't allowed to in some of these places.
Yeah, just forget about making a living.
Well, there's at least a little bit of good news coming out of...
Well, it's good news and it's bad news because it means that FUD was not the only rock concert to occur this summer.
FUD is your band, your brand new band, with also Free Talk Live co-host Captain Kickass.
That stands for?
Fear, Uncertainty, and Doubt.
And who are you?
I'm Aria DeMezzo.
I heard you were Uncertainty.
I never understood the point of having because they're all synonyms, right?
Fear is not the same as uncertainty.
I mean, uncertainty comes from fear, probably. I mean, fear is arguably there's two main emotions,
Doubt
right? Love and fear
are pretty similar.
I would say they're all pretty similar, right?
I'd say they're all related to fear.
Yeah.
Right? Because arguably there's two emotions that they all are sort of spring from, love and fear. There's sort of the two opposites.
Anyway,
you could be afraid of a man in front of you with a machete, and it wouldn't be the uncertainty that's really the problem.
True.
But you'd be afraid of that because you're afraid of the uncertainty of death. Therefore, you're
death is a certainty.
Yeah, the man with the machete may or may not swipe it at you, so you could be uncertain.
Well, he could have just swiped it at somebody else, at which point your fear is pretty solid.
Yeah, that's true. So you guys played at Fork Fest. It was a great show. There is video. It's just not out yet. It'll come out at some point when it's done.
No, it won't.
No?
I don't.
Are you forbidding me?
Probably not.
Are you forbidding me from releasing that video?
I wouldn't.
Well, then
no, it's your video. You can do
out.
whatever you want with it.
I liked the.
By the way,
the show.
don't do that. It goes really badly.
What?
Forbid Ian from releasing video. Just don't do it.
I'm not going to forget. It's his video.
If she was that embarrassed by the concert, then I would respect her choice and not put it out. But I would be sad if you asked me not to do that.
I know War Pigs came out really, really well.
I liked the original too. I thought that was a really good track. The one that you guys wrote.
There were two.
Okay, I remember there being one that was announced. Maybe
was it the one about the poster board picture?
No. Okay. You're talking about the pentagram satanic chicks or whatever. Yeah. that's a Captain Kickass original. You didn't write that with him,
right?
I meant the one that you
It's
guys.
still an original song.
Yes, that's true.
But, okay.
I meant the one that you guys wrote, the instrumental.
Yeah.
Which was pretty awesome.
Cool.
Thanks. I mean, I liked it. I think it should come out. Yeah. So anyway,
I would agree with a lot of it, but some of it was some of it's gonna be really bad.
It's your first show. I mean,
it was not my first show. It was the band's first show.
It was the band's first show.
I'm just saying.
And the poor Aria, she had like a flame in front of her at the beginning of the show, and it went out basically during the performance. So you were playing in the dark at the end. And I don't know how much of a difference that makes and how hard it is to play a guitar, but I'd imagine it's a factor.
I mean, a lot of it is just, muscle memory. Yeah. So you can play with your eyes
play
closed.
By ear, basically. Yeah.
You can, well,
by feel.
Not necessarily by feel. Yeah. But it does make it a lot harder when you can't actually see what you're doing.
Exactly.
Right.
So it was
I
a
can
struggle.
type by feel, but I prefer to be able to see every once in a while.
So, you weren't the only band to play this summer. According to CNN, Great White. Remember that band from the 80s or something like that?
Yeah. I had never heard of them prior to this story.
What were they known for? Did they have like a one-hit wonder? Was there?
Well, you shouldn't be asking me.
I'm looking at you because you were the one that was like, kind of an adult during the 80s.
Captain Kick-Ass is the one who would know the answer to this.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But anyway, Great White, an American hard rock band, gained popularity in the 1980s.
Once Bitten, Twice Shy.
That's it. Once Bitten, Twice Shy. Okay, that's an 80s classic. So anyway, they were playing in Dickinson, North Dakota, and the headline at CNN is apparently misleading.
It is very much misleading.
Which gives you a clue of, CNN has a particular viewpoint, and CNN's viewpoint is fear, fear, fear,
Millions
be afraid.
die at Great White concerts.
Yeah, well, that's what they would like you to believe. And so they've said now in the headline here that metal band Great White apologizes for performing to a packed, maskless crowd in North Dakota.
And by apologizing, they mean, sorry, CNN, you suck.
No, I don't know if that's what they meant, but
it does actually contain their apology within the article, but they definitely were not apologizing for performing to a packed, maskless crowd.
I am so glad that they were not actually apologizing, because when I saw this headline, I'm like, I marked this for show prep instantly, because I'm like, oh great, one of the cooler things that happened this summer. Now they're apologizing. Well, it turns out they aren't apologizing. That's just what CNN wants you to believe. The rest of the story here, the metal band Great White has apologized, they claim, for a concert that saw few masks in the audience and no social distancing.
The horror! They were moshing!
I thought you were supposed to be able to... The mask made it so you didn't have to social distance.
Oh, no.
That's what they used to tell. That's what they were telling us at one point.
They say that you need to wear the masks when social distancing is impossible or difficult.
Just like you should use hand sanitizer when you can't stop to wash your hands. It's not a substitute, but it's like, I guess that is better than nothing.
Quote, we understand that there are some people who are upset that we performed this show during this trying time, unquote, the band wrote in a statement obtained by CNN. Great White said further, quote, North Dakota's government recommends masks be worn. However, we are not in a position to enforce the laws. We have had the luxury of hindsight, and we would like to apologize to those who disagree with our decision to fulfill our contractual agreement. We are far from perfect. Is that an apology? It sounds kind
more
of like an apology.
It sounds massaged.
To me, it sounds more like, I'm sorry you're upset.
Yeah, it does sound that way. Without saying I'm sorry you're upset, it's a little more dancing around than that one.
They certainly weren't apologizing for doing it.
They were like, they're saying, well, hey, we're sorry to those of you who didn't like that we did our job. We were hired to do this show. We showed up. We can't enforce the law. What are we supposed to do? We're just playing the rock music, okay? And
somebody wanted to hear Once Bitten, Twice Shy. So we played it.
Twice. Their concert Thursday was part of the First on First Dickinson Summer Nights Festival, a recurring event scheduled to continue through the summer. So the heat is really likely going to come against...
So this is outside?
It appears to be outdoors, from the photographs.
Oh, dear God. Okay, so...
But everybody's standing close together.
So there's plenty of ventilation.
Right, that's the thing, is that it's about ventilation. Like people.
Well, that's what they're saying it's about now.
Well,
I mean, 2 months ago they were saying other stuff.
There's still people riding by here on bicycles with masks on.
I know. Well, that's because people don't understand what they're hearing in the news. I mean, the doctors, the epidemiologists, the people that are talking, I mean, freaking NPR, how much more of a state mouthpiece do you want? The doctor gets on and he says it's about viral load in the atmosphere in a given controlled space. So if you're talking about being outside and a breeze comes by, it blows all the bad stuff away.
Well, it blows all the bad stuff towards someone else.
Fine.
I think.
It goes away.
What I love, though, is that there are these pockets of people out there, and we don't know how many of them there actually are, who just want to go to a rock show.
Yep.
Who just want to go and have a good time, who just want to live life.
People are sick of this.
Like they were. Are they?
Yes.
What percentage of them?
They were sick enough to go see freaking Great White, so they got to be pretty bored.
What percentage?
At this point, you can't get a piece of information that supports the not. Look at this. Look at this. Here's a graph of deaths.
We're on the radio. What are we saying?
I understand. Here's a
Mark
graph
has a
of
new
deaths.
graph, everyone.
Okay, but what are we seeing? They're
Do you
down.
see
Deaths
how
are
it
down.
goes down?
Deaths are down.
Like
That's
it's
what you're
almost minuscule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they just keep going down.
Well, that's not going to dispel the fear because they know that there's some virus out there, and so therefore,
There's all kinds of them.
fear. 855-450-FREE, 855-450-3733. Someone claiming to be a Dr. Fauci is calling from Washington, D.C. I hope he'll stay on the line.
Finally.
It's Free Talk Live.
When you have a pain in the neck, a real pain in the neck, back, shoulder, or legs, you now have 2 convenient choices to get fast relief without taking another pill. Because now, Sunny Bay heating wraps and pillows are available at both Amazon and Walmart. Yes, see Sunny Bay's 4.5 to 5-star customer reviews on Amazon.com or Walmart.com. Our made in the USA microwavable heat wraps, heatable neck pillows, and extra large body wraps are designed better for perfect support where and when you need it. Even while driving, Sunny Bay wraps will not burn and stay balanced to provide soothing hot or cold therapy to help treat temporary or chronic pain. And the best part? Sunny Bay quality products start at under $20. Join thousands of happy customers and see why Sunny Bay products have a lifetime 100% positive rating on both Amazon and Etsy. It's easy. Click Amazon or Walmart and search today for Sunny Bay.
Hey, Self-Reliance gardeners, now that you've got your crisis garden planted, the next step is to make sure all your vegetables are going to grow like crazy the rest of the summer. For that, you'll need an all-natural, full-spectrum plant food that works to not only maximize nutritional uptake for you and your family, but is also guaranteed to make your fruits and vegetables actually taste better. The name of the product is ProtoGrow, a proprietary blend of bioactive superfoods for plants designed to produce rapid plant growth in record time. So much so that it almost forces plants to grow even under the worst light and soil conditions. It does this by combining powerful trace elements and micronutrients from seaweed extracts with a balanced blend of macronutrients from cold water fish. The result? Vegetables grow faster than ever because they now have the essential bioavailable nutrients they need. Go to growlikecrazy.com to learn more. Huge summer discounts now available. growlikecrazy.com.
Free Talk Live.
Having spent 8 years, 6 months, and 21 days of my life in the Florida State prison system, I'm going to say that the incidences of rape are much, much exaggerated in the media. I'm sure it happened.
It makes for interesting television shows.
Yeah. I mean, all the things that I've seen on Oz, I saw in prison, but I was there for 9 years. So, if I saw one incidence of violence where somebody got their ear bit off, okay, it didn't happen every episode.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I mean, it is a public perception, though, and people, it's almost a joke, or it's like a wink and a nod.
Yeah, sure.
Bubba's going to get you when you go to prison.
That's exactly the idea. As though sodomy somehow fixes people's broken minds. Right. That's not where they're putting that thing. So I mean, it's not gonna jostle anything around and fix it.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in Liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. You can join us here. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. Great White, the 70s, 80s rock band that was known for Once Bitten, Twice Shy, back on stage in North Dakota They have stirred up some controversy because the concert they were playing for, which is apparently actually a series of shows intended to continue through the summertime, the Dickinson, North Dakota Summer Nights First on First series, they were playing there.
Is that in a baseball field?
I don't know exactly
First on First? I don't
where. Yeah, maybe. Cedar Park. Oh, wait, no, that's a photo. Never mind. I don't know where it is, Mark. Dickinson, North Dakota. Anyway, they're now, according to the media, they're apologizing. But as you point out, Aria, this isn't really an apology because
they're not like, hey, we're sorry, we were wrong to play to this crowd of people who weren't wearing masks and weren't social distancing. They're like, we understand that some people are upset by this, and we're sorry that we, fulfilled our contractual obligations.
We would like to apologize to those who disagree with our decision to fulfill our contractual agreement. We are far from perfect, they said. And so they're basically saying, hey, look, we were contractually obligated to play this show. If we'd canceled because some people weren't wearing masks, then we would owe money to the promoter or whoever it was that, that hired them. Dickinson.
Sounds like they followed the law.
They followed their agreement.
Well, they're upset that the singer wasn't up there. Hey, you people have to put on masks and stay away from one another.
Well, you can't. That's not how law works. And this is the problem with these people that want all these concessions and stuff. You will give, at the very least, you will bow before us. It's ridiculous. I mean, you cannot demand that the government put everybody on the planet on house arrest without habeas corpus. We have laws in this country, and you've just blown your wad, ladies and gentlemen. The people that want this.
Speaking of viral loads,
but most of this isn't law anyway.
Well,
most of it's
I want to finish my
orders.
statement. I haven't finished it, and it's really important.
Okay.
You get to do this one time. You get to put the world on house arrest one time before the lawsuits come through, and then a judge says, yeah, sorry, you can't put everybody in America on house arrest without delivering a body of evidence.
Man, I hope you're right about that, Mark, because so far the evidence is they've done it more than once. They're already doing it a second time in many states.
The courts haven't opened.
Let's go to Dr. Fauci calling from Washington, D.C., watching on C-SPAN. Yeah, we're not on C-SPAN, but welcome to the show. Go ahead. Hello. Dr. Fauci.
There are many doctors and many doctors and scientists that believe you should wear a mask inside to protect your fellow humanity.
There are also many doctors and scientists who believe that Martians detonated nuclear weapons on Mars, and that's why there are no longer Martians.
Thanks for the call. Let's go to Crichton. He's in Kentucky. You're on Free Talk Live.
Hi, guys. I want to talk about something completely different.
Sure.
Have you guys heard about the attempt in New York State about shutting down the section of the Erie Canal
Does it have COVID too?
No.
Okay. Thank God.
This is not related to COVID at all.
All right.
They have budgetary problems, but their excuse for wanting to shut the eastern portion of the Erie Canal down is that they want to prevent invasive species from getting to the Great Lakes.
Those darn zebra mussels.
So they attempted to lower the level and see what happened. When they lowered the level by 5 feet, the residents in the neighboring counties complained that their wells had run dry.
Mm.
So I was thinking, and it's very unlibertarian of me, that if we're going to spend all this money, federal money, to print it, we might as well rehabilitate some of this infrastructure it's already lasted for 100 years. We've gotten enormous amounts of benefit out of this one boondoggle that actually paid us back. It's the one that we can actually refer to, the one boondoggle in U.S. history that actually made us money, and we can prove it. And they want to shut it down because of reason, because of a fish. They don't want to get into the Great Lakes.
Well, if the government was competent, they would be in the private sector, right? So I wouldn't expect them to be able to recognize that this one successful thing the government ever did was, in fact, a successful thing.
But the thing of it was, originally, it was not government. The Erie Canal was
private.
Built by a private company.
Yeah.
and then New York State,
one of the first corporations ever. I believe that it was
over.
The first.
Well, originally weren't corporations formed for the purpose of doing some sort of, quote, public good,
right?
Like you're describing?
Yes, they were. That's correct.
Yeah. And so is it the Eastern Asian carp or whatever that thing is? Is that what they're the invasive species?
Not this particular thing they're trying to keep out. I think they're trying to keep out mussels or something like that.
Is it the zebra mussel?
The Eastern Asian carp. The Eastern Asian carp is actually invasive on the Mississippi River.
Okay.
And that's another problem. But they're basically using this as an excuse to shut down the eastern portion of the Erie Canal because they don't need it for commercial traffic anymore because the St. Lawrence Seaway joins the Erie Canal about halfway and can service much larger commercial vehicles. So the eastern portion of the Erie Canal basically only services smaller boats and pleasure craft now. But I think it's still quite. If we're going to spend this money anyway, I mean, if we weren't going to spend the money, that'd be great. But if we're going to spend the money anyway, we might as well rehabilitate some of this infrastructure that we have crumbling around our feet, because we might need that canal again. We're facing energy crisis in the next decade or so that we may not be able to manage with, and that canal would be a huge boon if we could still use it, but they desperately want to shut it down.
You won't get me to say I support it, Crichton, but you will get me to say that there are many other things that they're currently spending money on that are worse. So there you go.
That's true. Crichton, thanks for calling tonight. Appreciate the heads up on the story. And also, Mark, what did you say about Florida with high testing corona? Was it deaths or test results?
Deaths.
Deaths
are gone up about 2.5 times, which is, I think, from like 40 a day to, maybe it was 40 a day to 80 a day, the last I looked.
And are these COVID deaths?
Yes.
All of which, of course, are questionable. And here's some other questionable numbers out of Florida. Thanks to Southern Northeast for posting this in the Discord chat room right now, or a few minutes ago. For the past 11 days at least, this according to clickorlando.com, so an Orlando news source, for at least the past 11 days, the Florida Department of Health coronavirus report shows hundreds of laboratories are reporting 98 to 100% of COVID-19 tests are coming back positive.
There's been some problems with testing.
According to the Department of Health, those statistics are because some private labs aren't reporting negative results at all. So they're getting them, they're just not reporting them. The daily coronavirus report produced by the Florida Department of Health lists all coronavirus tests and their outcomes, positive, negative, or inconclusive, from private labs around the state and those outsourced to facilities outside Florida. A look back at the daily coronavirus report shows that as far as July 4th, labs across the state have reported positive cases above 98%. While some of those high statistics can be explained by the number of tests run, for example, 1 out of 1 test, others cannot. Some of the private laboratories are not reporting any negative tests, but are reporting hundreds of positive COVID-19 tests. The spokesbureaucrat for the Department of Health said the reason was due to the smaller private labs not reporting negative test results to the state. However, according to the piece here, let's see. Coronavirus cases are confirmed through diagnostic and antigen testing and then reported to the state by the labs. Both private and public laboratories are required to report positive and negative test results to the state immediately, but in recent days they noticed that some of the other labs were not reporting the negative results. So they've repeated themselves enough times. That's pretty much the story.
Snitched on themselves.
Yeah. So you really can't trust any of these numbers coming from the government, so why even look at them?
I don't know. I'm obsessed with them.
Yeah.
Like looking at them.
What I look at is, what do I see in real life? What does my real life experience show me? And my real life experience shows me I barely know anyone who has come down with corona. Now, I know one person personally, and I know of another person who is a listener of the show who has reported that they have come down with it.
Yep.
So I'm up to 2 in 4 months.
I'm still at 0.
Yeah.
So
I saw a listener on Facebook in the hospital claiming it was from corona. So,
right. But most of our listeners would not tell us if they just came down with the flu.
No, they wouldn't.
Right? Yeah. So 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. I consider this to be completely unremarkable, but yet everybody else is acting like literally the sky is falling. There's more on the way. You can share your thoughts with us here. This is Free Talk Live.
This is John Stossel. Anything that makes it harder for you to speak limits your life. So if stuttering affects you or your child or someone you know, you can call the Stuttering Foundation for help. The number is 800-992-9392. That's toll free 800-992-9392. Or you can visit their website www.stutteringhelp.org. They can refer you to expert help in your state.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,811, silver at $19.51, and Bitcoin is trading around $9,254. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, on a trip to COVID-19 riddled Florida over the weekend, President Donald Trump not so cryptically revealed that he had something big planned for Venezuela during a meeting with leaders of the U.S. military's Southern Command. Something will happen with Venezuela. That's all I can tell you, Trump said, before adding that Washington would be very much involved in what he was referencing. Minpress News reports that on Trump's orders, Southern Command moved large numbers of forces to the region, ostensibly to conduct a counter-narcotics operation against Venezuela, which the U.S. has described as a narco state, with the DEA offering a $15 million bounty for President Maduro's head. This, despite the fact the U.S. government's own reports on drug smuggling barely even mention Venezuela, and official summaries show that U.S. allies, Colombia and Ecuador, are the sources of the vast majority of South American drugs that end up in the United States. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait. Just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. Amazon has introduced a cart that knows what you are purchasing while you throw it in, Como News reported. The cart uses cameras, sensors, and a scale to automatically detect what shoppers are putting in it. It keeps a tally and then charges their Amazon account when they leave the store without ever having to go to a register. Activist Post reports Amazon opened a cashierless supermarket in Seattle that uses cameras and sensors in the ceiling to track what shoppers grab and charge them as they leave. Amazon.com Inc. also has roughly 25 cashierless convenience stores with similar technology. This new piece of tech will likely now roll out across its stores. However, there are no plans for that right now, as this is just a test. The cart is known as the Amazon Dash Cart. It's being tested at a new Los Angeles supermarket Amazon is opening later this year. The practice of dumping banned toxic chemical waste on poorer societies by big corporations in rich countries must end. So says the experts at the United Nations Human Rights Council. While stricter regulations apply regarding dumping in regions like Europe and North America, they are often virtually non-existent in African, Asian, or Latin American countries. Last year, at least 30 rich countries exported locally banned toxic substances to poorer states, primarily to save money and resources, allowing corporations to write off their costly waste as an externality, transferring the costs onto some of the poorest people on the earth. There are usually far fewer regulations against harmful substances in poorer countries, often because their governments have been deposed by Western ones, with institutions like the World Bank imposing extreme forms of neoliberalism governance on them, forcing them to deregulate and privatize their economies. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Delighted health insurance executives gather in an outdoor coliseum to watch a patient battle cancer, and a self-conscious flasher is fully clothed under his trench coat. This is the Onion Week in Review. While stressing that they would absolutely never consider doing anything of the sort, German leaders quietly admitted this week that they were pretty sure they could carry out another Holocaust if they ever truly wanted to, quickly noting that the Holocaust was an atrocity that should never be repeated, no matter how easy it would be to do so. Almost all members of the German parliament discreetly conceded that with their country's dominance of Eurozone GDP, pulling off the unthinkable genocide would not be the least bit difficult.
I'm just saying, hypothetically, that we very easily could do it. I mean, we definitely have the infrastructure, and the concentration camps are still standing.
In other news, a so-called Christian has an erection. A new study finds more children are growing up in single-parent households, and a real-life Nancy Drew traces the source of her HPV.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
It's Free Talk Live. We're kicking off the third hour of this program. You can dial in toll-free and bring up whatever you would like. Our number is 855-450-FREE. Coming up, reparations. Aria is going to share a story with us about North Carolina. I don't know if it's the state or a town or
it's
what
a town in North Carolina.
One town in North Carolina. They're going to be offering, quote, reparations. We'll see what that is all about coming up here in a moment. It's Ian, Aria, and Mark in the studio. We've covered the Walmart. They're apparently cracking down statewide, not statewide, but nationwide on masks. They're going to mandate masks for everybody coming into the store. Now, there will be some exceptions, apparently. So they sort of hinted at they will allow certain exceptions, presumably medical, maybe religious. Aria, you say you want to go test it
Absolutely, man.
So, and you know, I'm of sort of a mixed mindset about doing activism on private property.
See, I was too at first, and libertarians love saying that, like, but this is a private property owner. You know, you should respect their private property, but they're not.
But they're not.
They are enforcers of the state at this point, doing things that the state has told them to do. They gave up the right to claim, I'm the property owner. You're violating my no, the state violated your private property rights. If you let them do it, No, it's like copyright law, right? The companies, the reason they enforce it arbitrarily is because if they let one person do it, then the copyright becomes void.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same thing here. If you want to claim property rights, fine, but stand
Act
by
like
your
it.
property rights.
Yeah.
Well, don't
instead
stand
of
up to
just
the
being a
little
bitch.
people, the little consumers. No, don't stand up to them. Stand up to the people who are actually violating your property rights.
But because they're a corporation, they asked for favors from the state in the first place, right? In order to become a corporation.
You didn't care about that explanation when we were talking about Facebook and people and taking down people's posts and that kind of thing. You're like, it's their platform.
No, it is their right. I mean, they absolutely have, and they have the right to kick us the hell out of their store.
They do. And I will respect that right if they choose to do it.
Yeah, me too. I'm not going to try to force myself in the store. I was only saying that it's sort of a mixed bag of feelings for me about this, in that on one hand, arbitrarily, it's kind of private property, but on the other hand, what Ari is saying is also kind of true, where they're basically the state's bitch, and they exist because of the state, and they have their
even
position.
if they didn't, even the mom and pops here, let's say they don't exist because of the state. They've never begged the state for any particular favors, but
besides a license.
They're not arguing with the state about their right to not force their customers to wear masks, right?
They're just doing what they're told.
They're arguing with the little people, us little plebs who aren't important.
Right.
Well,
that's where they suddenly have property rights. But when the state comes in and says, no, you have to do this, you have to put this here, that can't be there.
They do
suddenly this whole I'm a property owner crap goes out the window. So no.
Right, they won't stand up to the state. I get it. This is kind of like the study where they had some bananas hanging from the ceiling, and then they put some chimps in there and a stepladder. And every time a chimp would go up the stepladder, they'd blast everybody with a bunch of water hose. And
in this case, they have an ambassador
right
at the front.
And pretty soon, the chimps would begin beating on any chimp that attempted to go up the ladder to get the bananas. And then, interestingly, as a twist to the experiment, they began to cycle chimps in and out of the out and in of the cage. And pretty soon, the same thing was happening, but none of the chimps that had ever experienced a water blast were in there.
They were enforcing not going up the ladder,
right,
even though they'd never been blasted, simply because society had done that in their lifetime.
And it's fascinating.
Yeah. And the same thing you're saying would happen at the Walmart, basically. Ian and Aria go in there and we stir it up. And then,
I don't know what's going to happen.
And then eventually we go away. Everybody just does what they're told.
That Walmart, this is just conditioning, and that Walmart doesn't abide by the same rules you do.
Let's go to David. He's in Michigan. He's listening to WKHM in Jackson. Hello, David.
Well, good evening, then.
Hey.
And folks.
There's a lady here, too. But yes, thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah, just want to check in for a minute about Michigan and our illustrious, much esteemed Governor Whitmer.
I detect a bit of sarcasm. Go ahead.
Here we've been watching this mess very closely, and I know that you really appreciate freedom.
Yes, sir.
So I'll paraphrase a little bit of it if I can. Her press.
Oh, no. I'm going to do this. I'm going to put you on hold just because you're in a bad cell or something's happening with your audio there. We're going to hope to get you back because I know you've got something incisive to say about what is allegedly one of the most tyrannical of the governors, or at least she's gotten that rap in the last few months for cracking down. I believe Michigan was one of the states where you weren't allowed to even go and buy seeds at the garden center by executive fiat. She decided that people didn't need to be doing that.
They don't need seeds.
Right, so they locked down the garden. I think they did that in Vermont, of all places, too. So very strange choices, but that's what they did. And this Michigan lady, if you can even call her that, she was, of course, against the 77-year-old barber who was continuing to give haircuts throughout the whole COVID crackdown in defiance of the governor's orders. So kudos there. And also we reported on Michigan earlier this week when I think the Saginaw County Sheriff came out and straight up said, these are not laws. We will not be enforcing them as such because they are not laws. And to have a sheriff come out and throw the head executive under the bus like that, I haven't seen that happen yet. And he's right from their own system, right? Like, I don't believe in the system. I think it should go away. But if you believe in the system, you got to agree with the sheriff on this one. Governor's orders are not, by definition, laws.
Nope.
Well, it could be that Michigan is very similar to New Hampshire in that regard. Could be, I don't know.
What do you mean?
That the sheriff doesn't actually, go out and really enforce the laws anyway. That's more left to local police departments and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Could be the case.
Let's see if David's back in a clear cell. Are you with us, David? Turn down that radio, otherwise it'll super confuse you. Yeah, he's going to have to. That's the problem with not listening on your phone is that we try to go to you and then you're not there. And so then we have to put you back on hold. So we'll give him one more try here. He should have caught up by now. David, are you there? I haven't seen that. All right, we're going to let him go. All right, so 855-450 free. Just quick tip, if you're calling talk radio, you got to stay on the line. You can't turn up the radio and listen, or it'll be super confusing. So we're going to get into this story about the reparations, because aside from the whole COVID crackdown insanity and the fear-mongering that has been going on, aside from that,
There's still the Black Lives Matter stuff. There are still the protests, and there are still governments throughout the United States trying to figure out how in the world they're supposed to deal with this, and none of them really know how to. And that's equally true in North Carolina. I mean, reparations are such a touchy subject for just about everyone.
Almost everyone who might be subject to reparations, if that was a thing, they're all dead at this point.
And the people who did the things that would require reparations are, by and large, dead.
Well,
You're right.
But the entities aren't. So there's an entity that exists.
Because corporations can live forever.
Right. That exists, that allowed the importation of slaves for, I think it was 19 or 17 years, that currently is here. Now, mind you, the British Crown allowed it a lot longer on this particular soil, but we'll leave that to the side. It also gets a little murky if you consider when did the United States start?
Are you asking me that?
Yeah. I mean,
well, there was like the Articles of Confederation prior to the United States.
Right. I'd have to look it up.
Sometime in the late 1700s.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly when the importation of slavery was stopped, but it was certainly stopped under the Constitution. So the United States government, as it exists today, allowed it for some period of time. I think it was from 1789 to right around 1800.
And if the U.S. government had some level of some amount of money or resources or something that had been put aside from those days with which to pay reparations, I would be okay with that. But they don't. Nope. They're going to inflate their currency or tax people in order to do this now. People who were not responsible for the action that the city council is also not responsible for, but wishes to placate the feelings of people who also were not the victims
when
of it.
Did the city get incorporated is one of my questions I'd have. I
don't know. I don't exist in that
East
that weird
Coast,
little world.
North Carolina, it's probably going to be a long time ago.
In my opinion, it's just a bunch of people who weren't alive for
it.
It's
Asheville. It's not exactly on the East Coast.
Okay.
Stealing money from people who weren't responsible for a thing to give it to people who were not victims of the thing.
There's more on the way here. You can share your calls and thoughts with us. Toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. We'll see who's proposing what exactly, because we haven't gotten into the story yet, but that's on the way here. And, of course, your calls are welcome. 855-450-FREE, like freedom, or call us on our Discord server, discord.lrn.fm. More coming up.
Mojo would swallow things whole. A chicken carcass, a bird nest, and assorted stones and sticks. After surgery, Mojo had skin issues. He was constantly itching and scratching, chewing the hair right off of his legs.
DINOVITE.com.
On the Dynovite, all of these symptoms disappeared.
Dynovite is nutrition.
If you love your dog, you need to put him on Dynovite.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
DINOVITE.com.
News from news.bitcoin.com. Another 83 tons in fake gold found in China. Crypto still much harder to counterfeit. Host Stefan Molyneux banned from YouTube. Receives $100,000 in crypto donations afterward. Reporters uncover $11 trillion in offshore government-sanctioned bank accounts. Bitcoin Cash still potentially private and unconfiscatable. Bitcoin.com is your source for getting started with cryptocurrencies. Getting a wallet, buying Bitcoin Cash, mining, and all the latest cryptocurrency news at news.bitcoin.com.
Got shaving irritation? Shave Secret shaving oil can help stop it. Shave Secret doesn't cost much and is an all-American product. My name is Chuck Howard, and I developed Shave Secret and pioneered its use starting back in 1991. Ingrown hairs drove me nuts for years. Shaving oil changed all that. Why put up with ingrown hairs, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts? Shave Secret provides men and women with what we believe is the best shave ever. Our proprietary blend of 100% natural base and essential oils plus a hint of menthol was designed to help eliminate shaving irritations like ingrown hairs, bumps, red rash, nicks, and cuts. We'll lose those shaving irritations. Available at Super Walmart, H-E-B, Wegmans, Giant Eagle, Discount Drug, Navy and Marine Exchanges, Amazon, and ShaveSecret.com. Use the code FTL for Free Talk Live and get a discount. Shave Secret, the best shave ever.
The political world is a maddening cesspool of corruption and lies. Nobody tells the truth. Nobody keeps campaign promises. Nobody obeys the Constitution. Nobody puts the people first. How can we ever escape this web of tyranny? Vote for nobody.
Hi, my name is Nobody. I'm running for governor of New Hampshire because nobody knows how to live your life better than you do, and nobody deserves that kind of power. I want to put you back in control of your money, your lifestyle, your work, your body, and your life. Nobody should rule you but you. New Hampshire convicts many people of so-called crimes that should never have been prosecuted. If elected, I will pardon every victimless crime in New Hampshire history. This includes drug, gambling, prostitution, gun, and driving offenses. Nobody should have a criminal record when they have not harmed anybody.
Wouldn't it be nice to have nobody telling you what to do? Learn more at electnobody.com. electnobody.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm.
It's Free Talk Live. You can bring up anything that you want. Our number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom. 855-450-3733. If you want more businesses accepting cryptocurrency like Bitcoin Cash and Dash, you need to get over to AnyPay and hook up your local business with the AnyPay Cash Register app, which you can download for iOS or Android devices from your Google or Apple app stores. And setup is super fast. You just download this app, and then you put in your cryptocurrency wallet addresses into the back end. If you don't have a crypto wallet yet, I like the Edge wallet for mobile. I like Exodus wallet for cross-platform. So those are my favorites, but there's a bunch of options out there for that. But you download your crypto wallet, you put your wallet addresses in the back end on the AnyPay Cash Register app, and you're good to go. You're talking about a few moments setup time, instead of, like with credit card companies, days if not weeks of approvals and applications and fees and setups. I just had to change over the AMP credit card system to yet another bank account today. I've had to change it like 3 times in the last year. It's a huge pain in the butt. I asked the credit card processor, I was like, I'm sick of these banks. Do you guys have any other option for payouts, like, PayPal or something like that? They said, nope, all we got's ACH. So the old banking system sucks, and it's slow.
Oh, God, yes, it does.
And we could complain about that for an entire show. But
Several.
AnyPay, you don't have to ask anybody's permission. There's no approval process. There's no waiting, and there's no, most importantly, no fee to you as the business owner for accepting cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin Cash and Dash. And they now also offer Bitcoin BTC and Bitcoin SV and even a stable coin now over at AnyPay. So pretty cool stuff. Check it out. AnyPayInc.com, AnyPayInc.com. We go back to your calls and thoughts, and we can talk about the reparations that are apparently going to be happening in Asheville, North Carolina. First, though, we've got Kirby. He's in Indianapolis watching us on YouTube. Go ahead, Kirby.
Hey, how you doing, Ian?
Hey, Kirby. What's on your mind?
Not much. Mark, what I wanted to tell you, it was a really good analogy you used with the chimps. I was thinking of that earlier today, and I was on Pavlov's dog. But your analogy was much better. Now, Area, what you said about reparations is not actually true, and I'm going to tell you why. Saturday, July the 4th, just maybe a mile from Indiana University, in a state park, they tried to lynch a black man.
Oh no!
And until this mentality is gone, we will always have these issues. Now, if you want to fix it and not tax people, get rid of some of this federal land, open it back up to black people for the Homestead Act, and let us start our own community. But as long as we have to live in places that are surrounded by that type of human being, we will never have any peace. Never.
You're right. I mean, there's nothing there that I can argue with.
Well, I would like to say that I think anyone should be able to homestead the federal lands, not just blacks, but Indians or anybody who wants to.
But if it was done specifically for reparations, then it would be an entity that is responsible for its actions, and libertarians are for that. And that's the United States government. It allowed slavery. Also, the incorporated cities and states that that benefited from it. There's certainly arguments for that. But I'd ask this, Kirby. So I just hate this idea of separatism. That idea that black folks go and live on, in their own places. Now, I get
that's what they want to do, then they should be free to do it.
Sure. I guess they could take the land and sell it.
Well, they don't object to living amongst white people. They object to living amongst the type of white person who would try to lynch someone because of their skin color.
I'm with you. Let me make the statement.
But how do you tell those apart
from
the average white person?
Please, if I may, is that the fact is that if you take a black person and leave them in a black neighborhood in a big city, or take a black person and throw them into a relatively white community, the black person in the white community will do better because as far as prosperity and all these sorts of things. And you can figure out why that is. You decide why that is. But the truth is they will.
Well,
I'm not touching that one, Mark.
I can respond to that, Mark.
Sure.
I grew up in a neighborhood. My family was the fourth black family to move into that neighborhood.
Yep.
Beautiful area. This was 1966. By 1970, there were no whites left. The schools it went to, I almost used a bad word. The schools it went to see, there was no, the tax base was gone.
Now, I'm not going to say you're wrong, Kirby, but I mean, it was 1966 versus, say, 2016. And, the studies.
What has changed, honestly, substantially? What has changed?
Well, I mean, you don't see.
I still can't drive to Gas City, Indiana.
Well, I don't know anything about Gas City specifically, but I mean.
And that's any state. There are cities in every state that are sundown town. And as long as we have that type of situation.
Can you describe a sundown town? Is that where if you're black and the sun goes down, you better watch out, that kind of thing?
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. And Indiana's full of them. Full of them. Do not be fooled.
Well, I'm not going to say that that's not true, but I can tell you as a guy who's, best friends, many of my best friends are black.
Oh, God, Mark.
What? It's the truth.
I mean, it's bad enough that you're
I just lived with
it. He was mulatto.
What? He's not black? Because his mom was white and his dad was black? He's not black?
I mean, as a general rule, when a black person wants to tell you their opinions on Black Lives Matter and black history in America, as a white person, you kind of want to stop talking and start listening. But then to go... To not do that, to instead talking to go, one of my best friends is black. That's
it's
bad optics, Mark.
I understand it's bad optics, but the truth is I was the best man at a black man's wedding. It's the only time I've ever been a best man at anybody's wedding. And, what can I say? Like, that's the truth for me.
Okay, well, what were you going to say about
Two of my best friends are black.
So,
I have never experienced that. Traveling with them and doing things with them, I've never experienced that particular problem. But
well, you're not black.
Well, they are. You think I know?
Come to that town sometime, and we'll take a trip. We ain't even got to leave Indianapolis. guarantee there are trailer parks in Indianapolis that would see you and I walking or riding together. Yep. I guarantee you they'd scare the devil out of you. Yep. Me, I'm heavily armed and been shot, so they ain't getting no charity.
Yeah, the government's made sure I can't carry a firearm, so.
You can in Indiana get that felony expunged. In Indiana, you can go out and be a firearm owner again.
Yeah, the problem is getting this felony expunged. It just isn't going to work.
So, Kirby, let me see if I... Okay, so you are in favor of the idea of homesteading federal lands rather than some sort of cash payment, because a cash payment isn't going to make things better, right? It's just going to be a cash payment. Nice to have it for a little while.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm gonna be honest. If you was to say give every black person in America $1 million, I'd take my $1 million and buy a pawn shop, because in about 12 months, the rest of them fools will be broke, unemployed, and looking to sell some stuff.
Kirby, thank you.
How many acres should we give to the black folks in this settlement?
I can bring him back here if you want. Hang on, Kirby. More in moments with Kirby. 855-450-FREE like freedom. That's 855-450-3733. But that's the thing. I think everybody should be able to homestead federal lands. I don't think the federal government should own them at all. But if you want to be a separatist, that's your business. I mean, I like the idea of living amongst people who are different, but some people can't handle it, and I understand. Free Talk Live.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app, and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org. Did you know you can support freedom of speech just by visiting shop.freetalklive.com? You'll see links to Walmart, Love Java, Newegg, and more. Every day, Free Talk Live is at the forefront of the liberty movement as the biggest liberty-oriented talk show in the world, giving you a platform to be heard on any topic. Get listener-only specials without doing anything other than an extra click. Visit shop.freetalklive.com. Use the links and buy what you'd be buying anyway. Take action now. Save and support freedom. Visit shop.freetalklive.com. It's shop.freetalklive.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
George, you can go this way.
You can't do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me.
Well, I'm comfortable here, actually.
Whoa, hey.
Hey.
Who do you think you are?
Excuse me.
There is no video or audio
wilderness.
No, I have work today. This is.
You ain't gonna make it.
Wait,
Now.
wait a minute.
Whoa. Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable! Why are you running from me?
Because you're scared me. What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this?
Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
Free Talk Live. You dial in toll free, you bring up whatever you want, and take control of the airwaves. Our number is 855-450-FREE, like freedom, 855-450-3733. Free Talk Live brought to you by Bitcoin.com, longtime sponsor here at Free Talk Live, and great site to go learn the basics about Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, cryptocurrency. And if you haven't done that yet, then you really owe it to yourself. This is a technology that I was having a conversation with an associate of mine the other day. He is, absolutely right on. This isn't going away. Cryptocurrency is not going to be disappearing, likely in our lifetimes. This is a good concept, and if you haven't taken the time to learn the basics, you really should get over to Bitcoin.com and do that. They also offer other features like local.bitcoin.com, where you can buy or sell Bitcoin Cash. You can also use their exchange if you're outside of the United States. They've got one of those. And there's even, let's see, what else is there? The news site over at news.bitcoin.com, where you can get the latest news headlines from the world of cryptocurrency. That's news.bitcoin.com. We go back to Kirby in Indianapolis. We were talking about reparations. Kirby is a black man in Indianapolis. And Mark, you had a question for him because Kirby was talking about being able to homestead some land from federal lands.
Right. So what just to be clear, Kirby was proposing was to that the federal government, rather than printing money into existence, nor taxing people who have never owned slaves for reparations, that it give up some of the land that it has.
The whole 2/3 of the west, west of the Mississippi.
I couldn't tell you what percentage of the United States the federal government owns, but it's large. Big. And in order to do reparations. Now, I think I am for reparations. I hear the arguments on the other side, and I've changed my mind on this issue. However, what Kirby said was basically creating black enclaves, and that I don't like the idea of. I like the idea of integration, right? Like I like the idea.
But you can't force
that. Certainly not. But
so you leave it alone, dude. You don't like the idea. It's not your choice.
I'm talking to Kirby about it.
Okay.
Kirby, please go ahead.
I don't particularly care for the idea of separation either, bruh. My best friend, dude I go shooting with every weekend, is a white guy. My girlfriend is a white girl. And she's more like Jane Elliott. If you think I'm a pistol, she will tell you in a heartbeat. You don't want to go to Walmart with her and the black guy walking out in front of you gets asked for a receipt and she doesn't. She's going there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't particularly care for the idea of separation, but we have to remember there are a great many white people in this country who still wanted to go back to the bad old days. And there are a great many black people in this country who will look at something like the Black Wall Street in Oklahoma or Rosewood and will say, man, we need to get back to this.
Right.
You asked earlier how much land? 5 acres. If you're actually willing to go out there and plant, 5 acres will feed 5 people all year long. Yeah, you got to put in some work, but it's real work. It's honest work. And at the end of the day, you don't owe your filthy Uncle Sam or any of his prostitutes anything.
Yep.
Yeah, it should be land that is, as far as I'm concerned, property tax free too. Let's make it sovereign. That would be fun.
That's a great
idea. You can believe that anybody who was brought from Africa as a slave here in the United States wasn't paying property taxes on the land that they were stolen from. So,
yeah, but historically, the United States government is not very good at giving people land and then saying you're sovereign here.
Nope, they're not.
Well, I mean, all of this is fantasy. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, this is all fantasy. I like that you brought up Black Wall Street and Rosewood, because these are things that white people don't really get a chance to find out about.
Well, what are they?
These are communities built up by blacks, because people are always like, hey, why not bootstrap? Well, blacks have bootstrapped a lot, and then things catch fire and people get shot. And I think that... Go ahead.
As far as Tulsa goes, they used airplanes to drop firebombs on this town.
Mm-hmm.
This is right after the First World War. So when we talk about Black Lives Matter, so on and so forth, we got to ask ourselves, do they really? I mean, black men in uniform were still being lynched in America while America was fighting the Nazis. How hypocritical is that?
Right. And so, maybe something like Black Wall Street could exist today. The question is how many times do you tear down somebody's community? Does somebody tear down somebody's community and say, well, why don't you build a community? It just keeps getting torn down. And, how many times before somebody gets demoralized and doesn't build a community again? And I don't have an answer to that. And I tend to think that things are much better in the United States than they were at the time of Rosewood and Black Wall Street and Tulsa and these other horrifying incidents. It wasn't even that long ago that they bombed a building in Philadelphia in a black neighborhood.
That was a few decades ago.
Yeah. So it hasn't been that long, and I just don't know.
Well, I support the idea of homesteading, Kirby. I just support it for everybody. Would you be on board with that?
Absolutely.
Cool.
This is our country. And me personally, I am so sick of this white, black, red, brown, gay, straight division. Because in the end, if I take every one of us and skin us, no one can tell who was black,
we're all red
white,
on the
gay,
inside,
or straight.
Who the hell are you skinning out there, Kirby?
Well, just metaphorically speaking. But I mean, really, man, we have got to. It is time that we either fight or just roll over.
Well, I'm not for rolling over, that's for sure, but it certainly seems like most people in the United States are, given this whole COVID madness. Thank you, Kirby, for your call tonight. I appreciate it. The toll-free number is 855-450-FREE. Mike's in Gold Bar, Washington, listening online. Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Welcome, sir.
Aria, did the guys tell you I got a veterans voucher? I might come and get pizza in Keene?
No,
they didn't tell you that. That's okay. Don't worry, I'm not really gonna come there. I wanted to bring up two
you should go to Little
things.
Zoe's anyway. They accept cryptocurrency.
What is it?
They take cryptocurrency.
You should go to Little Zoe's anyway. They take cryptocurrency.
Little Zoe's?
Little Zoe's. Like a lady's name.
Joey. Okay. Anyway, so what I called about was I was watching probably about a 2013 movie, The Dark Knight Rises, with a crappy guy that was not a very good Batman. And in the previews,
I mean, he was all right during the original Dark Knight and Batman Begins.
In the previews of the movie, they have an animated version, and Superman tows this monster up into space, and when the monster gets loose and comes back down to land, he's got a great big giant noose around his neck. So I took a screenshot of that and tried to post Shame on DC Comics on Facebook. They will not let that post go on there. I've tried 5 or 6 times. Absolutely, I cannot get that to post.
So it's a screenshot of a monster?
I just took a picture. I paused the movie because I'm old, and then I took a picture of it on my phone.
Right.
And so I have it in my gallery, but when I tried to put it on Facebook to kind of bring it, that's kind of crappy, especially what we're going through these days. Anyway, Facebook would not let that post.
Why?
Post, period.
What is it? Is it offensive or something?
Maybe because I said
at this point, noose is a racist.
Or I said DC Comics. It might be one of the two.
Huh.
Anyway,
well,
I
it
made
is
my
offensive.
point. Well, it's offensive to DC Comics.
No, I meant DC Comics.
Stuff.
They're offensive, garbage ass comics.
Jeez.
Thank you.
Tell us what you really feel,
anyway,
Mark.
here's the other quick subject was like 9/11 when all the planes were out on training missions. I heard recently, like a half hour ago, that the fire suppression system on the burning ship in San Diego was not functional for maintenance. Now, they had all those people living on that boat. I do not believe for 1 minute that fire suppression system was unhooked.
Yeah, I heard about this thing. Apparently, there's some kind of ship that's been burning for like 3 days in a harbor.
My knowledge of it is exactly the extent of yours.
I've seen some video footage. And that's
okay,
about
so
all
you're
I
more
know.
knowledgeable about it than I
So
am.
the government screwed up. I mean, it's not unbelievable that the government's going to screw something up and something's going to get caught on fire eventually. Mike, thanks for the call, man. I appreciate it. 855-450, free like freedom. You can take control of the airwaves here. This is Free Talk Live.
Has always been nature's very own antibiotic, and only one system allows you to generate an endless supply of natural silver solutions. SilverLungs.com. You'll find no wild claims or pseudoscience, just a lifetime of nano-sized pure silver solutions. The Silver Lungs generator allows you to make your own, so stop paying for silver solutions. The unique lung delivery system targets respiratory infections where other silver solutions simply cannot reach. See the Silver Lungs generator and lung delivery system at SilverLungs.com. That's SilverLungs.com.
Attention radio listeners, have you ever wanted to be independent of the utility companies and actually generate your own supply of off-grid electrical power? If so, this is going to be the most important message you'll ever hear. Here's why. A limited number of solar-powered backup generators are back in stock and now available. These emergency backup systems provide life-saving electrical power when you need it most. And unlike gas generators, a solar generator runs quietly, emits no fumes, and produces an endless supply of free electricity from the sun. It's like having an electric power plant running silently, secretly in your own home. Run sump pumps, shortwave radios, computers, even keep food from spoiling. Go to mysolarbackup.com to learn more. That's mysolarbackup.com. Supplies are still limited and are available on a first-come, first-served basis only. mysolarbackup.com.
Have you ever thought about turning your Glock, XD Family, or 1911 handgun into a semi-automatic carbine? It only takes about 30 seconds. The MechTech Carbine Upper is classified as an accessory and can be delivered right to your doorstep with no FFL or background check required. It's the world's most versatile pistol accessory. Build your custom upper today. Simply go to handgunconversion.com. That's handgunconversion.com.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Moments remain. Maybe enough time for you. If you dial in now, we can get you on the radio here. Our toll-free number, 855-450-FREE, like freedom, 855-450-3733. Here tonight, it's Ian.
Aria.
And Mark.
And also, don't forget, you can go to our website at freetalklive.com. Enjoy the various features we have there for you. You can get interactive with other Free Talk Live listeners on our forum over at forum.freetalklive.com. So hop on over there and check that out when you get the chance. We go to your calls and thoughts here. And if we get the chance, we'll tell you more about these reparations, which is what we had intended to do. But first, David is on the line back in Michigan. We had some technical difficulties with him earlier. David, are you with us this time?
Yes, sir. I built a cell phone tower here in Jackson County. They didn't have enough of them.
Gotcha. So you were calling about the governor's mask mandate there in Michigan. What's going on?
Oh, my gosh. 4 months ago, March, wash your hands, she said. Wash your hands. Dr. J, they call her, the chief medical official in Michigan, Dr. Caldoun. Wash your hands. Wash your hands. Now I'm hearing, and we all are here in Michigan, mask up.
As a strong supporter of hand washing, I will say that the reason we're hearing mask up now is because people, by and large, did not wash their hands.
Oh, we've been washing hands before indoor plumbing.
Not as often as it takes to keep oneself from getting sick.
So they're saying mask up because if you don't...
Where are the figures that do the math completely? Now, I'm no mathematician.
I mean, the reason people die of less infections today is because doctors wash their hands, right?
Well, I'm not saying doctors don't. I'm just saying that initially...
Well, I'm saying the proof of that is that doctors aren't killing patients by giving them infections all the time.
Well, that may be true for sure, but the whole mantra of her absolute control of what she thinks is control is that, all right, mask up, don't die, mask up, is pretty much her mantra. There is federal money that has been allocated to Michigan after she had to beg Washington for it, and she's putting an effort in through the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, a $20,000 grant to nonprofits and small businesses. They're called Restart Grants. But she's shutting the thing down again. So there's several other issues here, men, and I know you're short on time now, but it just seems like, masks take out personality in the face.
Yes, they do.
They do. This is also scientifically proven.
I mean, all you have to do is look at somebody. You can't tell if they're smiling or if they're angry.
Right.
Their eyes are squinty.
You have no idea.
Well, that's true. That's true. And, you think of the old days, the old school robbers, they're going to put a mask on before they rob the bank. You know why? So they can't be identified. What in the heck is she thinking? Mask up, be safe. Put a piece of cloth on your face, she said.
Yeah, there's no whole lot of evidence that this is particularly effective at all, but what it is effective at, as you pointed out, David, and thank you for the call tonight, is dehumanizing individuals and making it so people are being obedient and in fear constantly of what might happen to them. So you better do what the government says. And, of course, putting the government in this role of, the vaunted protector that we all must look to. We must look to Her Excellency, or His Excellency, as they refer to the governor here in New Hampshire, for our guidance. Government, give us guidance. We need to know how to behave.
I think that a mask properly worn, properly used, is definitely going to provide some level of protection to the people that you're around at whatever place you're around. And the idea is that if you wear one, then they wear one, and hopefully they're also doing it correctly. Now, the problem is a lot of people don't do it correctly. They're pulling it down over their nose because it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
They have a inferior mask that doesn't fit right. We've been told to wear these fabric masks. In many cases, though, the air's not passing through it at all. And if it's not passing through it, then it's not catching some of what it's supposed to be doing when you're just breathing around it.
I don't care what the reasons are.
I know. You don't.
Okay. You can go through your laundry list of all the good things about masks, and I still think they're bad.
You think they're bad because you can't see people's faces.
Yeah.
And that's fine.
And the same reason I don't like it when the cops put on dark sunglasses. Because you can't see their eyes. You can't connect with their soul if they still have it.
Sure. I just wanted – you said that there was little evidence that masks work. And I just want to make sure that
there is,
I'm
from
clear
what I can tell, little evidence, but I wouldn't care if there was a lot of evidence.
Free Talk Live is a show where everybody gets their opinion. You've got your crappy one. I've got mine.
Yeah,
that's probably right.
Why don't you go put a mask on?
I have one right in my bag.
The governor's waiting for you in the back room. He'll take you at his pleasure.
I have some things that I'd like to talk to him about.
So, Aria, what is the proposal for this reparations? I mean, what is it that Asheville, the city of Asheville, North Carolina, one of the more liberal cities out there, we actually used to have a radio station there, and our Johnny Ray, former co-host here, who actually happened to stop in tonight, is from there.
The good news is that they're not actually trying to provide direct cash payments, as some have suggested.
They're just saying sorry.
No, they're doing more than that. Well, they profess to be doing more than that. I don't know whether or not any of this crap is going to be effective or not, but that's not what they're trying to do. Because as you pointed out, that's just a lump sum of cash, and it probably wouldn't be that much. It would not be very helpful. Like, it would be the equivalent of the government's $1,200 stimulus checks.
Yeah.
So what they want to do is provide investments in housing, healthcare, and career growth in black neighborhoods. Councilwoman Shanika Smith said the council had gotten emails from those asking, why should we pay for what happened during slavery? Slavery is this institution that serves as the starting point for the building of the strong economic floor for white America while attempting to keep blacks subordinate forever to its progress, said City Councilperson Smith, as reported by the Asheville Citizen-Times. The resolution calls on the city to create a community reparations commission to make concrete recommendations of where to funnel programs and resources. So they basically voted to create a commission, and the committee is going to draft up some plans, and they're going to vote on them. And it's going to be years before anyone sees anything. Yep. And even if they do, it's going to be completely negligible.
It'll just be a government program with some sort of a handout for certain qualified individuals.
One of the things I have a problem with reparations is it refers to something that existed many, many, many decades ago, more than 100 years ago. And whereas it could, many of the crimes that have kept what they're referring to here as blacks, economically depressed, have occurred well after slavery was abolished in the United States. They're using the stand-in that everybody knows about as opposed to educating people on, as Kirby was talking about, black communities that were set on fire and these sorts of things. So while I concur that blacks have had a difficult time building wealth in this country, if everything had been equal at the end of slavery in 1870, if everything was equal, I think there would be a mitigable difference, because not only can you build
there would have had to have been significant reparations immediately after the end of slavery during the Civil War for things to have been equal in the first place.
Well, at that time, what I'm saying is that
Because these were people who were kidnapped and brought here and forced to breed and sold and traded, and they're like, okay, well, you're free now. That's not equal footing.
I understand. But what I'm saying is over the course of nearly 200 years, that in all likelihood, because remember, not only can familial lines gain wealth, they lose it too. Sure. So if blacks had been allowed to keep wealth rather than having it burned down and insurance companies wouldn't cover them and all kinds of things like that, they would have, there would have been many families that would have been able to build wealth over that time frame, and but it was much harder for them. So now, presuming everything got good, everything was great in say 1984. I don't know, you pick your year. It's only been a much shorter period of time for that to occur. That's all I'm saying.
I want to get Andrew in here. Ohio, last thoughts here real fast. Andrew, go ahead.
How much time do I got?
10 seconds, 20 seconds. Go ahead.
Just imagine if let's just say a libertarian got in and abolished the Department of Education. Yeah. How many riots would there be?
Probably none.
Not really any riots.
It's a department, they'll riot over anything.
I don't know who they are, but I wouldn't expect anyone besides really the teachers' unions to riot over the end of federal Department of Education. But call in tomorrow about it, Andrew. We'll talk to you in greater detail about that idea. I mean, the teachers' unions are going to be pissed, and they're going to make a big stink about that. But as far as the average folks,
I wouldn't think so.
What would they care?
They would just be upset that they had to pay the cost of their, babysitters again.
Schools wouldn't go away.
Federal government doesn't cover the cost of your
it covers the cost of their schooling.
They do like 6% of the school costs. Most of it's coming from local property taxes. More coming up tomorrow. See you then.
Remember when you first heard about Bitcoin? How long did it take you to realize this little project would soon change the world? Do you kind of wish you had got involved sooner? Well, now is your chance to be a part of the next revolution in money. Intercoin is working to finally make crypto go mainstream. It's designed to be scalable enough to support everyday payments and even elections without the state. Bitcoin was originally supposed to be a peer-to-peer cash system, the way we would all pay one another without having to trust any third party. But instead, over time, it mostly became a store of value. That's because every 10 minutes, the Bitcoin network must put all transactions into a block, and that block can only hold so much. If crypto is to become mainstream for people to use it for everyday payments, we need a new architecture, one that is as secure as Bitcoin while being far more scalable. Check out intercoin.org to find out more and maybe pick up some of those coins for yourself.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
The latest episode of Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock is next after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,811, silver at $19.51, and Bitcoin is trading around $9,254. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, on a trip to COVID-19 riddled Florida over the weekend, President Donald Trump not so cryptically revealed that he had something big planned for Venezuela during a meeting with leaders of the U.S. military Southern Command. Something will happen with Venezuela. That's all I can tell you, Trump said, before adding that Washington would be very much involved in what he was referencing. Minpress News reports that on Trump's orders, Southern Command moved large numbers of forces to the region, ostensibly to conduct a counter-narcotics operation against Venezuela, which the U.S. has described as a narco state, with the DEA offering a $15 million bounty for President Maduro's head. This, despite the fact the U.S. government's own reports on drug smuggling barely even mention Venezuela, and official summaries show that U.S. allies, Colombia and Ecuador, are the sources of the vast majority of South American drugs that end up in the United States. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. Amazon has introduced a cart that knows what you are purchasing while you throw it in, Como News reported. The cart uses cameras, sensors, and a scale to automatically detect what shoppers are putting in it. It keeps a tally and then charges their Amazon account when they leave the store without ever having to go to a register. Activist Post reports Amazon opened a cashierless supermarket in Seattle that uses cameras and sensors in the ceiling to track what shoppers grab and charge them as they leave. Amazon.com Inc. also has roughly 25 cashierless convenience stores with similar technology. This new piece of tech will likely now roll out across its stores. However, there are no plans for that right now, as this is just a test. The cart is known as the Amazon Dash Cart. It's being tested at a new Los Angeles supermarket Amazon is opening later this year. The practice of dumping banned toxic chemical waste on poorer societies by big corporations in rich countries must end. So says the experts at the United Nations Human Rights Council. While stricter regulations apply regarding dumping in regions like Europe and North America, they are often virtually non-existent in African, Asian, or Latin American countries. Last year, at least 30 rich countries exported locally banned toxic substances to poorer states, primarily to save money and resources, allowing corporations to write off their costly waste as an externality, transferring the costs onto some of the poorest people on the earth. There are usually far fewer regulations against harmful substances in poorer countries, often because their governments have been deposed by Western ones, with institutions like the World Bank imposing extreme forms of neoliberalism governance on them, forcing them to deregulate and privatize their economies. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
It's the Onion Radio News. All 7 deadly sins were committed at a church bake sale. This is